Are we live? All praises to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh Malek, Lam Malek, Yisrael. That's the Most High, King of the universe, or eternity, King of Israel. Right back at it with a barbershop chop session, bringing in the Shabbat. Yahoo! My brother say Yahoo. Bringing the Shabbat. All praise to the Most High. All praise. On the eve of these 7-month feasts, Trumpets, Atonement, and Tabernacle. You understand? Some very important understanding need to be had, though, definitely. Especially in the age that we in. May the Most High protect and guard over our people that's down in the midst of that Hurricane Irma. Right on the tail of Hurricane Irma is Tropical Storm Jose. And off in the Gulf, down there by Mexico, is what's the other storm? Katia. Y'all know Mexico got hit with an 8.0 earthquake this morning.
Yeah, and they got the tsunami coming.
And they got the tsunami coming. You dig? So prayers are definitely in order.
They get off that mother work.
There. Yeah, that's serious. And then don't forget Yellowstone Park. Earthquakes is hitting over there. That's about to erupt and blow.
That's an active volcano.
Yeah, you got the worst wildfires in California history. Burning right now. Look, it's so much fire burning in Cali. It's raining ash in Portland, Oregon.
Think about the fire burning here from the ground.
Yeah, and then for y'all that's here in St. Louis, you ain't safe either. You understand? You're sitting right on the New Madrid fault line. We 15 years past overdue for that to slip. Last time that slipped for real in the 1800s, church bells rang in Boston. That's how hard that earthquake was to hit here back in the 1800s. And we 15 years past overdue for that. Also don't forget under the Manhattan Project back in the 1950s, the United States government buried all types of nuclear waste around St. Louis, different pockets. Right out here in Earth City, any of y'all stay here in St. Y'all, of course, y'all stay here, but if you ever travel through Earth City, right, and go into St. Charles, you ever notice that smell?
Yeah.
Everybody says that's just the landfill. No, that's nuclear radioactive waste that's been buried underground. It's an underground fire inching closer and closer to that nuclear waste. To what? When that fire hit the nuclear waste, it's gonna be like a nuclear bomb went off in Earth City. That ain't number 5 to 7 minutes right down the expressway, right down 70. You feel me? Look at you. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. What you on? You been good? Huh? Out of cage, right? You been good, Lex? Shabbat Shalom, brother. What you been up to? What you got your sinus infection or something? What I do with them kids? Ginger root. What I do with them kids?
Understand. Yeah. I have it quite often.
Man, every time the weather change.
Hold on. You know, we got them pulled up. We live and everything. No, you all good, bro?
What up, big bro? Shabbat Shalom.
You been good?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You know, Lex. Look at Lex. That's one of our young niecey pools. Look at her. She Naomi, she bro. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right, so look, it's definitely going down worldwide. You dig? We as a people got a short memory. Act like when something ain't affecting us directly, we don't never trip off of it. You know what I'm saying? But it'll be right here at your front door shortly. St. Louis ain't got too much more longer. Eventually, that New Madrid fault line gonna slip. That San Andreas fault line out in Cali, that'll be like the icing on the cake with the fires that's going on in California. And that San Andreas fault slip, Las Vegas will be beachfront property.
Got movies on that.
Yeah, so it's going down, man. You feel me? You said what?
They got a movie. It's called San Andreas.
Yeah.
What The Rock.
Right.
And then The Rock just gave up the ghost last week or 2 weeks ago, didn't he?
The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson.
He did.
No, I think that
was fake. Oh, okay. Somebody was posting that he ended up dying in a movie stunt or something. He ain't dead. Oh, okay.
The Rock.
Oh, okay. All right, so look, we're going to get this going. We're going to talk about these feasts because the 7th month feasts in the Bible are very important. Beyond important because they got to do with the end of time and the Messiah, the Son of the Most High, ushering in his kingdom. So trumpets are blowing. When you read Revelations, you read about trumpets blowing. It's 7 trumps. 6 trumpets blow, all hell break loose. Stuff you only seen in movies start happening. You feel me? We on the brink of that right now. That Hurricane Irma is said to be the worst storm in the United States history. Yeah. Serious. You feel me? And we got a lot of loved ones in the midst of that. Yeah, you too, she bro. We got a lot of loved ones in the midst of that. Time to get in heavy prayer mode. Pray that the Most High protect his. You understand? Y'all, this Zebediah Boaz right there. One of our longtime brothers. All right, so let's start this out with Colossians, the 2nd chapter. Colossians chapter 2 is where we're going first. And then we're gonna backtrack. Colossians, the 2nd chapter. We're talking about the trumpets, we're talking about the feast coming up. All right, the trumpets start September the 21st. September the 21st through the 22nd at evening. That's the first feast day we're gonna go over. All right. Day of Atonement, which is a 24-hour fast. That starts September the 30th at evening to October the 1st. And then the Feast of Tabernacles. That starts October the 5th through October the 13th. All right. Those are the dates. These are the biblical feast days that are coming up that we must be aware of. And you keep all your appointments. You keep your doctor's appointment. You be at work on time. When it comes to the appointments of the Most High, everybody got cold feet. They don't care about it. They brush it under the rug. But the appointments of the Most High keep you on point. Right. And once you get to reading about these trumpets blowing, and you're like, oh, that got to do with what? It make you focus more on what's really at hand and not, what you think you out here for. You understand? So look, let's get into it. We're going to read Colossians 2 real quick.
We're in the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 1.
Nah, 6 to 8, then we're going to jump down to 16 to 17.
Book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 6.
Get on water.
As ye have therefore received Christ, Yahweh Shah, the Lord.
Yeah.
So walk ye in him.
So the scriptures say, as you receive the Messiah, you're supposed to walk in him. You know how many people say I love the Lord. You hear it a lot of time, I love the Lord. But the scripts say, if you down with the Most High, if you down with his son, you're supposed to walk. You're supposed to walk the walk.
Right.
It's deeper than just knowing, okay, you know what day the Sabbath day is, or you don't eat no pork no more. You understand? That's just the beginning of your walk. Once you understand what the truth is, it's time for you to walk the walk. Or what are you doing? You doing what? Like if you knew somebody that claimed he was a Crip, but he wasn't no Crip, what is he doing? He's false flagging. False flagging. You see what I'm saying? Now look, you could be guilty of that in the spirit. You scared of your homeboys in the streets, but in the spirit, you could be doing that, and the Most High mark you an enemy. Is you false flag. You see? Come on, what else to say?
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Rooted and built up in him.
Hold on, do what?
Rooted and built up in him.
Rooted means you got a foundation. Rooted. And you built up means you exercised. You feel me? Come on, what else to say?
Rooted and built up in him.
Yeah.
Established in the faith.
Yeah.
As ye have been taught.
Yeah.
Abounding therein with thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
So it say, watch out. You can get spoiled, not like you spoil your little baby. You feel me? Love you, boo-boo. Spoiled means rob.
Yeah.
Beware lest any man rob you of your salvation through philosophy. You know some good philosophy, bro. Tell me some good philosophy. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. He that sleepeth on the floor can never fall out the bed. You know philosophy, bros. Come on, man. You done heard madness before and say, wow, how long it take you to think of that? Think about it, brother. DNA is A-N-D. DNA is and backwards. Wow. It took you how long to come up with that? So the scripture says you got to be careful when somebody come around you philosophizing, because you can get robbed of your salvation. You start believing that. All right? Yeah, through philosophy and vain deceit. What does vain mean, Bruce? Vain. Somebody said, man, that's vain. They don't mean that. Vain means worthless.
empty,
It means you're wasting your time.
no profit.
You don't want to become vain in the eyes of the Most High. You feel me? Someone that just, a waste of space. You see what I'm saying? So it says, beware lest any man rob you through philosophy and what else?
In vain deceit.
Yeah.
After the tradition of men.
The traditions of men. Now, our whole life we've been doing traditions of men. You know a few of them, right? Easter egg, bunnies and eggs and all that, man. Okay, so you understand, right? That has nothing to do with the Messiah of the Bible. Okay? Traditions of men to get your salvation robbed or took from you. What else to say?
After the rudiments of the world.
Yeah.
And not after Hamashiach.
Rudiments mean elements and not after the Messiah. The Messiah's whole mission had nothing to do with the traditions of men, had nothing to do with philosophizing, had nothing to do with none of it. It had everything to do with the commandments and faith that's already written in the scriptures. Right? All right? What verse are you in?
Verse 9.
Jump down to 16 for me. 16 through 17.
Verse 16. Colossians chapter 2, verse 16.
Now these verses, this verse right here is where the so-called Sunday church go to make them feel as if they don't have to keep the feast days of the Most High. Right? But what we gonna read in here, you ain't gonna read nothing about, it don't say nothing about don't do. It don't say nothing about don't do. Let's read Hebrew. Colossians 2, 16 and 17.
Colossians 2, verse 16. Let no man therefore. Y'all there?
I'm gonna need you to look up the word shadow in that one coming up. In verse 17. But go ahead.
Colossians 2,
okay.
verse 16.
Okay.
Let no man therefore judge you.
Let no man, hold on, do what?
Let no man therefore judge you in meat.
Right.
Or in drink.
Right.
Or in respect of holy day.
Right.
Or of the new moon. Or of the Sabbath day. Which are a shadow of things to come.
Which are a who?
A shadow of things to come.
Right.
But the body is of Hamashiach.
The body is of the Messiah. So it didn't say nothing about don't do it. It just said don't let nobody judge you in it. You see what I'm saying? In other words, when you come into this walk, you come into this, this paradigm of belief, it's people that may not observe the Shabbat the same way you do. I mean, y'all done ran across it on Facebook. People tell you the Shabbat switches with the new moon. Yeah. Some people say the Shabbat don't start when the sun go down right now, start when the sun come up.
Lunar Sabbath.
You feel me? You got different, in other words, when you come into the belief and the truth, you see that everybody, and when it comes to certain things, don't believe the exact same thing. So the scriptures in his infinite wisdom was saying, look, don't let nobody judge you in that. Judgment means to cut off. If you go into the judgment on you violate any of these days, the majority of it means you were cut off from your people. A lot of it meant you were put down. So it was saying no man can judge you in this. It didn't say nothing about don't observe. It didn't say no, we shouldn't be judging or cutting one another off because we may see the Shabbat or the new moon or some of these things a little different. Right? Some want to say, well, what do they got to do with the folks that go to church on Sunday? That's not the faith that we in. It's not the same faith. Notice he read in that verse 8 that said rooted and built up in the faith. Anybody in the truth knows the Sabbath is not every Sunday. Everybody knows that. You understand? So it's not talking about like you're not supposed to keep the feast days or the new moons or the holy days. It's saying we are not in this truth. We are not to be judging one another, cutting one another off. Nehemiah, you got something over there. What it say?
Yeah, so when you look at judgment in the Greek, it's a little different, right? But it makes sense the way you just explained it. So in Greek, it's G2919.
G2 what?
2919.
2919. Okay.
It's krino, which means to separate.
To who?
Separate.
See, so we're saying don't let no one cut you off or separate you from the body because you may look at it. See, I know a few brews that observe the Sabbath based off the new moon. You understand? I mean, when we sit down and we shoot certain scripts, they ain't got no answers, but you believe in the Messiah, you believe in the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, so I can never be like, look, brother, to hell with you. You understand?
At the end of the day, you still observe.
Yeah. You trying your best to do what's right. So how do I cut you off for trying to do what's right? Okay? That don't even make sense. All right, what else to say, huh?
To be of opinion. Deem think to be of opinion. To determine, resolve, or decree.
Yeah.
Just to separate.
Yeah.
Or to put someone to pick them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you think?
And
that's the very first definition of it.
And that's the judge. When he said, "Let no man judge you," that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, they talking about like if you got caught, like you said, the homosexual, you broke the Shabbat.
Yeah.
They talking about that.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like you just, the very first said stuff.
Yeah, to separate.
Get cut off from the congregation.
Yeah, because of we may observe a few things. Look, we was going into in fact, Yaquin taught a class. What was it, last week?
Yep.
We was going over we was reading some of the books of Enoch. Some of y'all don't believe in that. You feel me? You gonna cut your brother off of that? But anyway, we were reading Enoch and it was saying it's over what? How many levels?
300,000 gates of understanding the Torah.
300,000 gates of understanding the Torah. So you know good and well if you're on a different level than the next brother or sister, you're gonna observe something, you're gonna look at something a little different. You understand? Even though it all come back to the same understanding. You feel me? Everybody's not water puddle deep with this. Some people was like swimming with the sharks for real. Like
you just speaking on our young brother right here, man. You know, like if you chip off his classes, he go into like deeper meaning of like when we take it face value.
That's right.
I mean, but it's the same thing. It ain't deep enough.
Yeah.
It's just another level.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
bring it all into play.
And look, as long as you pulling out the scripture, it's all good. It's all good. You feel me? So all praise. So look, what else does say right there?
Verse 18. Colossians 2.
17 again. 17.
Colossians 2, verse 17.
Yeah.
Which are a shadow of things to come.
So the new moon, the feasts, everything he's just talking about, Sabbath days, the meats that we eat. Some people don't eat meat, right? Some people don't eat meat, period. You know, it's lawful meat we can eat. Some brothers don't eat meat. So we're saying, like, look, but that brother shouldn't be separating you from the assembly or from his company just because you eat lawful meat. You feel me? As long as you ain't commanding it, I mean,
you can't call it sin if it's lawful.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So, but he knows, he said, which are a shadow of things to come. Like you got your hand and you got the shadow of your hand. It's the shadow, like Malay, is your shadow of your hand, your hand? Is the shadow of your hand, your hand? Huh? It's not. It's a reflection of your hand. So it's just saying everything that we do from the feasts to the new moons to the Sabbaths, that's a shadow of the perfect image. The shadow is the representation of the real thing. We're saying everything the Most High got us doing, the laws we keep and the feasts we doing, it's only a shadow of what's to come. It's just a reflection of what's coming. That's why he say, look, don't let them judge you and all that. You feel me? Some people be on Facebook arguing. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not. It's this day. It's the Enoch calendar. It's this and that. The earth, yeah, that's another one. The earth is a frisbee. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna separate you brothers though. You know, it ain't no thing. But some people believe that, even though they see that moon and that sun and that sky and that firmament.
That eclipse.
I mean, I give you a little something though. I mean, I don't believe the sun is as far away as science will tell you. 903 million miles away. I mean, the scripture said you was in the firmament. All the lights are in the firmament of the heavens. You know what I'm saying? Which is really like the first level. We're like the first level of heaven. You feel me? So I agree in something like that. But if you see a sphere, ball-like bodies of light in the firmament, why is it you can't believe the earth that you're sitting on is a sphere? Like, I don't get that. Like, you can look right at that and see that. You feel me? But I mean, hey, if you do, you know, whatever, you know, no harm, no foul. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be lip wrestling over. You know what I'm saying? Ain't a salvation issue. I mean, if you believe the earth is a frisbee with edges, hey, have at it. It's all good. But which are a shadow, right?
Yeah. But the body is of Hamashiach.
So it's a shadow of things to come, right? What the shadow mean, Zebediah Boaz?
You know, that's a new thing too. They, you know, the flat earth, when they call it free, they keep evolving and they understand. Then there was two pillars.
Yeah.
Straight across.
The
sun went like this to them.
Yeah.
And everything else went up.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's a perfect disc.
Yeah, with an invisible dome. Yeah. Like a paperweight. Remember the paperweights back in the day when you shake it up in the snow?
There's snow inside.
Yeah.
Mark my words, a month from now, it's gonna be another.
Yeah.
It's always evolving.
Yeah.
Another variation.
Yeah. Hey, but love you, brothers. It's all good. It ain't no thing. All right. So what shadow mean?
4639. Here, shadow, shade caused by the intercession of light. An image cast by an object and representing the form of that object.
And representing the form of that object. So if your feast days and your Sabbaths and everything the Most High God is doing is just a representation of something greater. So he said they're a shadow. Nobody judge you or cut you off from the truth because, you know what I'm saying, you may look at things a little different. They only a shadow. How do you cut someone off for trying to do what's right?
Hey.
Do that make sense? Like, I'm trying to do what's right. You gonna cut me off?
And we have to be truthful, man. We have to allow our brothers and our sisters some amount of time for us to get.
Yeah.
And we still grow. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So I think the commandments of the Most High, like that Matthew 12, 49 and 50, we do the will of my Father. That is my brother, sister, mother. You know what I'm saying? With the full faith of Mashiach, we can rock out.
Yeah.
We can chop everything else up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's many brothers that come from St. Louis and came down, one of the brothers from there, Central. From SDA.
No doubt. Even brothers out of One West.
Just talk to Brother Keith.
Yeah.
Out of Philly.
Yeah. Or even brothers out of One West. We have brothers from One West come up out here.
All the time.
You feel me? Even though, you know, it been swords, we cross swords. It's what we do. But we got brothers, you know, that came through it. You know what I'm saying? Mahara calling them. That's my brother. I know some of y'all don't like the brother, but hey, you know, it ain't been nothing but love every time he come through the STA.
And we check him on we
yeah, and look, and we get down. Ask him. Whenever he come through, man, look, we get down. Let's open these scripts up. What's good, bro? But if he needs some type of assistance, if he needs some type that's the brother. And it's gonna be that. All right, so it's all good. All right, let's get her done. So the shadow, the feast days and everything we do are a shadow, a representation of what's coming. All right, so when we read about the trumpets, that's a shadow of something coming. When we read about atonement, that's a shadow of something coming. When we read about tabernacle, that's a shadow. Remember, a shadow is just a representation of something, of an object, something greater that's coming. All right, that's all it is. That's all. That's why he was saying, don't let nobody judge you in it. It didn't say don't observe the feast. It never said that. Colossians 2 and 16 and 17 is where the Sunday church go to. They feel that gives them an out observing the feast of God. Because it says, let no one judge. Well, you can't judge me if I don't do it. They didn't say don't do it. It said if you in the faith and you in the belief, don't separate yourself.
So it spiritually lets you know that you're practicing.
But you should be practicing.
Yeah, you're practicing. That way when it actually happens, when it actually comes to you to happen, you're doing it with ease now.
Yeah.
Because you've been practicing while you've been in this flesh.
That's right.
No one camp got all that. We all supposed to be studying, edifying each other, offering correction and reproof, and growing and moving toward the kingdom.
As a unit.
As a unit.
Yeah. As a unit.
I mean, look, even at the time of Christ, there was different sects going on. So how do you think you lost your identity just not getting it back? You're going to be totally different.
Yeah.
And they had identity back.
And with the Messiah say if you only salute your brethren, you ain't no better than the Pharisees. If you don't salute those in your own little clique, then what are you doing?
What he say?
That's what the Pharisees do. They only saluted each other, even though they all was Israelites. But if you ought to be part of this certain clique, nah, we ain't with all that.
It's like old boy. They like, look, we caught old boy worshiping and healing in your name.
Yeah.
He ain't of the clique. He said he was healing in who name?
Yeah.
Mine. All right, that's our brother.
Yeah.
He ain't got to be down with us and down with our camp. As long as he believe in salvation, he have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. That's our brother. Now, he might need to be earned out on some doctrine or whatever, but we able to chop it up because he believed in life and light. So we can chop it up with him. This is what it is.
Makes sense, don't it?
Make all the sense in the world.
All right, look, let's go to Leviticus 23. Leviticus 23, 1 and 2.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2, and then we're going to jump down to 23 to 25 about the trumpets.
All right, book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations.
So he say concerning the feast of the Lord. Now, like when you first hear about a feast, right? Like Mina, when you first hear about a feast, what you think? You say feast. Food. Food. That's what most of us think. When we first hear about a feast, we think food. Family reunion, barbecue, potato salad. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense, right? Go ahead. What else to say?
It says, speak unto the children of Israel.
Yeah.
And say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord.
The feast of Yod-Heh-Wah, the feast of Yah, right? Go ahead.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
So we got feast, we got proclaim, and we got convocation. Them three major words we're going to look up. All right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
Even these are my feasts.
Now, these are the Most High's feasts, right? Hebrew just said when she first heard feast, she think food, right? All right, Zebediah, you minister the definition tonight, Hebrew. Look up feast for me, 4150, Leviticus 23:1. I mean, you know, you're looking up the word feast. Now, I think food about the definition for feast that we just read about in Leviticus 23.
Mo'ada.
Yeah, Mo'ed or Mo'ada. Yeah.
Appointed place, appointed time. Oh, it's
4150. So the Hebrew concordance 4150. All right, the word for feast in Leviticus 23. All right, these are the Most High's feasts. All right, now trip off this. What's the word? Moed, Moada. All right, what it say?
Appointed place.
Appointed who?
Appointed place. Appointed time. Meeting. Appointed time. Sacred season. Set feast. Appointed season. Appointed meeting. Appointed place. Appointed sign or signal. And in the Strong 3259, properly an appointment.
Properly a who?
An appointment.
Now these are the most. I want to say these are my feasts. He's saying these are my appointments.
So ain't about food.
I mean, the food is the underlying. You gonna eat.
I'm just saying for this people.
This is not just when you hear feast of the Most High. You should be thinking these are the Most High's sacred appointments. Just like you keep your doctor's appointment. Just like you go to work on time. Somebody say, be here at this time, you there. You did. You keep all your appointments, but when it comes to the Most High's appointments, we say, ain't nobody got to do all that. See what I'm saying? See, so it's important to dive into the scriptures and always pull the definitions about them. You see that? Because we just learned from feasts. This is way deeper than some eating. That's right. This is a divine, sacred appointment. All right, everybody understand that real quick? Now, the next word that was in there was proclaim.
Bro.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Piece of definition just read.
Bang, hey, get all that meat here, bro.
Yeah. Read what's next there.
That is a fixed time or season, specifically a festival, conventionally a year, by implication, an assembly, as convened for a definite purpose.
As convened for a definite
purpose. Repeat the word, a fixed time.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
He constructed that himself.
Yeah. Fixed. Now look, I'm gonna hit y'all with something else, right? When you go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 14 through 18, when he said he gave the sun, the moon, and the stars for signs and seasons. When you look the word seasons up, it's the same word we read for feast. Wow. So the sun, moon, and stars were given for the divine sacred appointments of God. Fixed time. Fixed time.
And it makes sense because that's why the sun rises and sets the same time every day.
Yeah.
And that's why the moon do the same thing it does. Yep. That's why the moon, it does his appointments. It never skips his appointment. But we do it as Israel, skip our appointments all the time. But don't do it with the job, though. Go to work 5 days late in a row. You ain't gonna have no job no more. The And that's in the flesh. So just imagine what it's gonna be like in the spirit.
Spiritual.
Hollering at the real judge. Or the real
That's
boss.
why your soul be felt like these you miss. Your soul stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's why it's important for us to give it to our children. See that? So y'all just look it up when y'all get a chance. When you read Genesis 1:14 through 18, you read about the lights the Most High put up in the firmament. He gave them for signs, which mean a signal, and for seasons. The seasons is the same word for feast we reading about in Leviticus 23, which means sacred appointment, fixed time. Then he said for days and years and months and all that. But he said that deals for seasons, which means feast, which means it's for a fixed, sacred time and appointment. That's the Most High's calendar. All right. All right. Next word we need to look up though. Look up proclaim. H7121. Proclaim. So we know it's a fixed appointment. We know it's a sacred appointment given by the Most High, right?
Right.
Then he said, you're supposed to proclaim this. You that's in the truth, you know this is an appointment of the Most High. You're supposed to proclaim this. What does proclaim mean, Hebrew? Kara, 7121.
Call out, recite, read, cry out.
Hold on, do what?
Cry out.
Cry out, huh? Go ahead.
Proclaim. Cry out. Utter a loud sound.
Utter a loud sound. You see what you're supposed to be doing? Knowing these are the Most High sacred appointments. Cry aloud. You feel me? Proclaim. What else to say?
Call unto. Cry for help.
Cry for who?
Cry for help.
Wow.
Call with the name of your house. To proclaim. To read aloud. Read to oneself. Read. To summon.
Oh, that's what I was looking for.
Summon.
To summon. Like you see for summons to court. You supposed to be proclaiming and summoning the Most High. And inviting your people. Like, come on in. That's what it is. Cry out to the Most High. Inviting your people to what? Come feast and keep the appointment of the Most High.
Makes sense about the going to the shofar.
Yeah.
Summon.
Yeah.
Vibration and sign.
Yeah. You did this bad about that about 3 weeks ago. Vibration.
You see that? To proclaim. So this ain't just like, you feel me? That's Memorial Trumpets. Yeah, what feast is it again? Yawn. Yeah, what fart? No. You supposed to be on this. You supposed to be on this. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a sacred, divine, fixed time and appointment of the Most High. You supposed to be doing a summons, invite, call out, cry out, invoke, summon. All right?
Same thing we going to show forward when the enemy is upon us or trouble at the gate. There's different vibrations that came out.
We about to read them. That's in Numbers 10. That's on the list. What else to say? Was you done with that?
Summon, invite, call for, call and commission, appoint, call and endow, call name, give name, call by, and down in the strong definition, 87122. Through the idea of accosting a person,
Yeah.
call out.
Yeah, so you sending out an invitation, you crying out, come on to the divine appointment of God.
That's the parable about that.
Call oneself. Yeah, how do you make your call in an election sure? Like how would you call yourself to the sacred meeting of the Most High? Like if you ain't going, if you're not there, how would you get yourself together? I'm saying, like, if you say you lived a life to where you didn't know nothing about it, right? Then you found out what it was. So your mindset is what? Do it with every fiber of my being to make sure I'm there. You feel me? Get yourself together. Like you like, hold on. In your psyche, you gonna be like, man, I need to be there. I didn't know I was supposed to be doing this during this season. You feel me? You calling oneself. Yeah.
Pagan holiday, birthday, New Year's.
Yeah.
You busy pagan idol worship origins.
Yeah.
You should be having that much zeal For the Most High, this is right.
That's right. That's right. Even more.
More.
Because look, they start their Christmas market in July. Yeah. All right, so look, the next one say it's a proclaim to be holy convocations, right? So what is convocation? Go to H 4744.
Nicaragua. 4744.
That's just like Korah. I just put a mem in front of Korah. Mikra, which means a convocation. All right? It's the same words you just read, but with a M or a mem in front of it. Mikra. Yeah, Mikra. Right? To call out is the verb. It's how you change a verb to a noun. By putting the mem in front of the verb. All right? So convocation, what it mean?
Convoking.
Who?
Convoking.
Convoke. It's a call on.
Yeah.
Convoke. Convoke.
This is the one that's doing it. Mikra, holy convocation. All right, go ahead.
Reading. They calling together. Convocation. Sacred assembly. Reading. In the strong 7121. Something called out. That is a public meeting. The act. The person or the place.
The person or the place. Go ahead.
Also a rehearsal.
Oh, that's what I was looking for. It's a rehearsal. What are we rehearsing for? Remember we read they are a shadow of things to come. So by observing this, what are we rehearsing? What's coming?
Kingdom and the feast area.
There you go. There you go. The kingdom of the Most High is coming. So by observing the feast of the Most High, you actually are rehearsing to enter into the kingdom.
So you tell me we got to keep the feast in the kingdom. We should be practicing now.
That's right. That's
So
right.
why are we not practicing? That's the question.
Yeah, you supposed to be rehearsing right now. You feel me? You don't wait till the game to practice for the game. You feel me? That way, when you get to the game, you already know. You feel me? All right. So look, was you done with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look, jump down to Leviticus 23. We get to the feast. Leviticus 23, 23, and 25. Let's get into it. The first part of this 7-month feast, the first feast is called Memorial of Blowing of Trumpets. That's what it's called.
In the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 23.
Yeah.
And the Lord spake unto Moshe, saying, speak unto the children of Israel.
Notice it keeps saying, ye children of Israel. Speak unto the children of Israel.
Saying, in the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets.
Now look, the first day of any month is called the new moon. You feel me? So even though we observe all the new moons, the 7th new moon is the most is the most observed. This is an actual feast. You know what I'm saying? It's called a memorial blowing the trumpet. It's considered a Sabbath, not the weekly Sabbath. You feel me? But it's considered a Sabbath for the Most High, in which that day is supposed to be dedicated to Him.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna get to the trumpet, what it means. Feel me? What it's used for, and all that. All right. What else to say?
24 again.
Yeah.
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing the trumpets, a holy convocation.
Y'all go to that holy convocation again, which means a rehearsal, a sacred assembly, a rehearsal, a convoking, the call to the Most High. All right, go ahead.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
That's how you know it's like a weekly Sabbath, because you ain't supposed to be doing no type of servile work. That day is supposed to be dedicated to the Most High.
Whenever it falls.
It can fall on any day of the week.
Still a Sabbath.
You feel me?
Exactly.
So this one falls September the 21st, and it ends September the 22nd at sundown. Feel me? So whatever day that is, I ain't even look on the calendar, but whatever day that falls, that's considered a Sabbath. That day is dedicated to the Most High. You understand? So notice it called it a holy convocation. We gathering together to rehearse about something. Shalom, people. We gathering together to rehearse about something. Okay? What else to say?
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Yeah.
But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Not sure about that. Why, brothers are going to be barbecuing, grill's going to be up, fired up. But it's dedicated to the Most High. All right? What else to say?
Verse 27.
Now that's
Awesome.
that's it right there. That's 25.
Yep. Verse 26.
You read 26?
Yep.
All right, now look, drop there. Let's go to Numbers, the 10th chapter. Numbers chapter 10. Let's go show what the trumpets is about.
You know another thing?
We know they're holy convocation. What's up with Hebrew? Y'all good? Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. All right. So look, we know it's a holy convocation. Right? Numbers the 10th chapter, 1 through 10. Numbers 10th chapter, 1 through 10. Now look, the memorial blowing a trumpet is considered a Sabbath day. See that? It's a memorial. It's a holy convocation, meaning you gathering together, right? And you rehearsing. We preparing for something. We preparing for something. It said it's a shadow of things to come. What is the shadow? What the trumpet is a shadow of something greater. What is it? All right. We're gonna walk it down so we can see it. Now, Numbers 10 is gonna go into the purpose of the trumpet. What the Most High, why he didn't say blow a flute? Why he didn't say play a violin? Why he didn't say play a saxophone or clarinet? He say a trumpet, right? And that's for a reason. So we're gonna get into that. All right, Numbers 10. I need like 1 through 10. And you're gonna see the different reasons why a trump was set up and why it's belong. All right, what it say?
Numbers 10, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly.
Hold on, for the what?
For the calling of the assembly.
So the trumpets is for what?
To call the assembly.
To gather the assembly. Gather the congregation of Israel. All right? To gather the people. What else?
And for the journeying of the camps. Okay,
not just for the gathering, but also when it's time for the camp to pick up tent and march, trump got to get blown. So even in the wilderness, it was order. Negroes wasn't just hitting flips in the wilderness doing what they want to do. Like, that's y'all over there, I'm gonna do this. Everything was in order. Everything, when you're dealing with the Most High, everything's in order. It ain't no sloppy nothing going on.
Before you go to war, they always blow the trumpet.
Always. You got to blow the trumpet. All right, what else to say?
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And when they shall bow with them, when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Yeah.
And if they blow, but with 1 trumpet, then the princes which are heads of the thousands of Israel shall gather themselves unto thee.
See, so if you blew 1 time, the princes would show up. You feel me? Everybody wasn't a prince. Those that were like the heads of the tribes or whatever. You feel me? Or ordained princes among the nation. You blew 1 time. If you was a prince, you knew, okay, that's the sign for us to show up. You feel me? 5 tribes and everything at the door of the tabernacle. Feel me? And look, and the sound was just as familiar as that sound go off every Monday in the city. This is just a test. As familiar as you are with that sound right there, as familiar as they was when that trumpet went off. It just was blew certain ways, and you knew it was time for certain people to gather. What else to say?
Verse 5.
Yeah.
When ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east part shall go forward.
Lee, this is what you was talking about. You was like, when the trump was blew a certain way, you knew it was time for certain people to show up, and it was time for certain parts of the tribes to move out certain ways. So, however that sound, however an alarm sound, but it still was blown with the trumpet. They'll blow it a certain way, and you knew that's an alarm. All right, us over here, time to roll out.
That makes sense when you're dealing with massive amount of people. You ain't dealing with a PA system. You ain't dealing with internet. You ain't dealing with social media. You're dealing with the wilderness. All creation is talking. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what nobody got going on. But when you're there, there's quiet, there's listen, and there's action.
And let you know that there was some heavy trumpets blowing, boy.
Yeah.
Man. Millions of Israelites came from out of Egypt. So there was some heavy trumpets.
And look, they was made out of what? He said silver?
Yeah, silver. The whole piece, though. He said a whole piece of silver. What?
Precious metal, ain't it, buddy?
Yeah.
What else to say?
Verse 6. When ye blow the alarm the 2nd time, the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. they shall blow an alarm for their journey. But the congregation is to be gathered together. Ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm.
See, so every time he blow is not an alarm. Feel me? There's a distinction in sound even amongst the trumpets. Jose, you gonna say something? All right, go ahead.
Verse 8, and the sons of Aharon, the priest shall blow with the trumpet, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generation.
What verse is that?
It's verse 8.
Go ahead, read down to 10.
Verse 9, and if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppress you, then ye shall blow an alarm with trumpet, and ye shall be remembered before Yahweh your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. So
when we was in our land and the enemy was coming down to oppress us, if we was in the right spirit, being obedient to the Most High, and that trump blew, the Most High would take heed to that and destroy our enemies. You see, like he's straight fight for us. It's a story in there about when the Syrians was about to attack us. You feel me? Some of us were stirred or whatever, but we prayed to the Most High, and overnight he sent one angel through the midst of there. And the next morning it was over 185,000 Assyrians dead.
That lets you know that you can call on the power with sounds and vibration.
Yeah.
No justice, no peace ain't gonna get it done.
Nah,
ain't no marching. Ain't no marching around the Justice Center. Nah.
Bro, you don't see nowhere in history where Israel prayed for Pharaoh to increase his spirit. You didn't see for Assyrians, Persians, and Romans to increase while you in a captivity. That's a damnable spirit, to be in captivity. To pray for your enemy, to be over you and stay coming. And even when you take this understanding, for me it makes sense at the sound of the last trump, and the Lord come to get his people, gather his people, makes sense. The salvation plan is right there.
Yeah.
Read about the salvation.
Yeah. When
you hear that trump, those who hear the understand, okay, it's not for the gap.
Yeah.
Even what was that one movie with old boy that played Neo? And it was it was another movie where they were kids and they had a little tree of life at the end of the movie or whatever like that. And
you talking about the Nicolas Cage that was in there?
Yeah, it was Nicolas Cage. They had a little bubble and an alien came.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All kids with
this spot. And they gathered, and the rocks started floating in the earth, and the animals started going into
and everybody couldn't go.
What movie is that?
That's
you know what movie I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Everybody typed it up.
I didn't know the name.
You know what's crazy about that movie?
The Knowing.
The Knowing. That's the name of it. That's Knowing. And you know what's crazy about that movie? A year before that oil rig exploded down in the Gulf of Mexico, it was on that movie. A year before, remember that oil rig exploded down in the Gulf of Mexico back in what, 2010, 11 or whatever? Bro,
they just made Geo Stone.
Look, the news, the news, if you listen to the news in the background when he had fell asleep and woke up and the oil rig exploded down in the Gulf of Mexico. A year later, it happened. It actually happened.
The teller of vision.
I'm like, boy, this is crazy.
The teller of vision.
All right, we're going to go to Psalms 81 next, y'all. Psalms 81, 1 through 4. Again, we're going through the trumpets first, then we're going to go through the atonement and the tabernacle.
What makes sense, man? Can we read that down again real quick?
Go ahead, go ahead, read. Go ahead, read. Go ahead.
Numbers chapter 10, verse 9 again. And if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresses
you,
then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpet, and ye shall be remembered before the Most High, your power. And ye shall be saved from man. And we get to the New Testament, that trump.
Yeah, we building up all the way to it.
We good. Jubilee is on the way.
Yeah.
Light, man, besides her, boy, the power. Don't need no sun no more. Types and shadows. Light, that's the light. Now the light of the kingdom is Christ.
Shadow. Shadow to come, brother.
It's all a shadow. It's all a shadow to come. Keep all our people in your prayers too, man. Getting hit with that storm, that hurricane.
Yeah, we got Shibu Sharon.
Yeah.
My little brother out there, man.
Big Shibu.
Yeah.
A lot of people hurt.
Yeah.
You know, Shibu with her husband. They ain't for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We definitely pray for your people.
Pray for your people. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. They talking about the worst one in U.S. history. You did. And you know what Hurricane Andrew did back in '92. This one worse. I'm talking about it's bigger in size, it's bigger in width, diameter, all of it. It ain't even half the size it was. So it's a serious thing.
It's just the judgment of the Lord, man.
And but look, we just needed that. But again, in this season we in, we need to know about these trumps. Because when you start reading about them in Revelations, all hell break loose. You feel me? And you still ain't seen what that's gonna be like. You feel me? Like a third of the oceans turn to blood. And then a third of the sea life die. And all the green trees in the earth burn up. You ain't even ready. So we just seeing foreshadows of what's coming. You know what I'm saying? That stuff hurt. Like this knocking right at our door. And you arguing over bills. All right, let's get to Psalms 81. 1 through 4.
We in Psalms chapter 81, verse 1.
To
the chief musician upon Gittith, a psalms Asaph. Sing aloud unto God our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the God of Yahweh.
Yeah.
Take a psalms and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the pastry. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon.
Blow up the trumpet when?
In the new moon.
In the new moon. The first day of the 7th month is the memorial blowing the trumpets. He said, blow that trumpet. All right, even if you ain't got a physical trumpet, our mouths are trumpets. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Spur not. Yeah. See? In other words, you lift up your voice and spread this truth. Spread the gospel. Yeah. All right, what else to say?
Verse 3.
Yeah.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon.
Yeah.
In the time appointed.
In the who?
In the time appointed.
And we've been talking about how these feasts are appointments.
Yes, sir.
Feasts don't just mean family reunion, barbecuing, and potato salad.
I just heard this.
Appointment. A sacred appointment of fixed time.
Meaning you better be there. Meaning you better be there.
You better make that.
You better be there.
Yeah, make that appointment. Even if you ain't amongst a whole bunch of folks, you can do this in the comfort of your own home.
Man, talk about our brother Toby.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what else say?
On our solemn feast day. Solemn feast day.
That's right.
Verse 4. But this was a substitute for Yisrael.
This was a what?
This was a salute.
No.
Statue. My
yeah.
bad.
You all good, brother.
Just saying different words.
It's all good, my brother. Go ahead.
But this was a statue for Yisrael.
This was a statue for Yisrael. Go ahead.
And a law of God of Yahweh.
This is a law of the God of Jacob. See that? It's a law. It's an appointment. It ain't nothing you just sneeze at and brush up under the rug. And all our short leggers need to know about this. They need to know. They need to be reminding you, Mama, the Feast of Tabernacles is coming up. You understand? The more you're blowing the trumpets. Can I blow the trumpet? You understand? We got to be like that. Look, as much as we went hard and got them together for and the wrong vibration for Christmas, Easter eggs and bunnies, man, we got to go hard. Man, look, every fiber of your being, you should be going hard. Like, look, drill that up in their psyche. They need to know this, man. They need to know this. That way they grow up more powerful than us. You don't want your children to be, you know what I'm saying, like less than you. You want them to be better, like be better than me. You feel me? Be better than what I did. You understand?
And so we always say?
Yeah.
I mean, for real, tell this. I ain't even talking about this. Half of us, we claim to be good parents, but we actually the most terrible parents. Teaching the paganism, we reinforcing the mystery, the idolatry, the worship of God, miseducation, we reinforcing that, bro. We feeding our children damn meat that ain't good for us.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? We ain't giving them no knowledge, ain't telling them no truth.
Yeah,
and then we said about the world, just if not worse than what we do.
Feed them illusions too. I want to give you the world. The world ain't yours to give them. You understand? Give them the keys to eternity.
With the Most High, so
that's right.
Don't give them the word. Give them this truth.
I want to give you the word.
Birthdays in Josephus, it says they was given the law, not their birthdays. Yeah. So they ignorance. So would they have ignorance as an excuse? Yeah. So what supposed to be done according to how they ancestors worship, kept the feast, all these things.
Man, that Negro say he want to give his children the world and think that's them going on a roller coaster ride, going to Six Flags.
How you give your child the world and you ban your captivity?
And the world ain't yours to give. The world ain't yours to give them, even if you wasn't in captivity.
It belongs to the Most
Give
High.
your children the word of the Most High. That way they know how to act when they get out here on their own. You understand?
Yeah.
What verse you in?
Verse 5. This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Mizraim.
All right, finish that verse.
Where I heard a language that I understood not.
All right, let's go to Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 1. Let's show the trumpet. Let's show how it brings in the judgment of the Most High, the gathering of the people. And it's the reason why he said trumpet and not flute or clarinets. Zephaniah 1, we're going to read 12 through 18. And what you're going to see is a consistent theme. Whenever the scripture is talking about the day of the Most High, when it's talking about gathering his people, you're going to keep hearing trumpet. Trumpet. Whether you're talking about the prophets in the Old Testament or you're talking about Revelations and the Messiah and the day of the Lord in the New Testament, you're going to keep hearing about the trumpet. The trumpet. The trumpet, just like we read Numbers, gather the people. You understand? Save from your enemies.
Move certain ways.
Yeah, move certain ways, do all that. That's what the trumpet's for. And it's more for you to reflect on what's in front of us, not what's behind us. We already been in the wilderness. We already made trumpets of pure silver. We already been there 3,500 years ago. So how do we look at this now and apply it now and in the future? That's why we read about it's a shadow. You feel me? It's only a shadow of what's coming. Your shadow ain't you, it's just a reflection of you. Right? Shadow ain't, you know what I'm saying, the intricate detail of Hosea. It's just a reflection. So what we doing is the reflection. Hosea is the image of what's coming. Makes sense. You understand? What you got over there, Nick?
So when we hear the Messiah teaches us to pray, you know what I'm saying? That thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah.
We look at the temple, the things that happen in the Lord and everything the way it's set up. It's the very image, Ark of the Covenant, everything is a image of what's in the heaven. So would it be safe to say that this same trumpet is already prepared in the heavens?
Are we gonna read the book?
I'm saying the same.
Yeah, you sure is, because
heaven is coming to earth.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro. And what's the Jerusalem that we're supposed to have is the one that's what?
He getting there.
Yeah.
Let's get her done.
he already knows.
He
just set the stage. I got you, right? Zephaniah 1, 12 through 18. Watch this.
Book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 12.
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles.
With who?
With candles.
Right.
And punish the man that was settled on their lease.
Settled on their lease. Now trip off that. Jerusalem is a people before it's even a place.
Straight up.
The Most High said the day is coming where he gonna search his people. And every man amongst our people that's complacent, hands in his pocket, Israelites, you know, fair weather Hebrew.
Here's your candle under the
You know what I'm saying? He said he gonna punish you. We are not in the time for you to be complacent. We ain't made it to the finish line yet. So if you got a complacent spirit, like it's all good, oh, they been talking about that. You know. Y'all still waiting on somebody to come out the sky?
Oh, man.
They been talking about that. You see what I'm saying? That breeds a spirit of being complacent. You're not looking for the hit of the Most High that he said he gonna put down. You like, yeah, whatever, sneeze, yawn, right? Into something at your front door. So that script just said he gonna search Jerusalem with candles. And every man settled on his leaves, meaning he complacent. He a fair weather Hebrew. He ain't really out here doing this. You understand? Most High said he gonna punish you for that. That's the wrong spirit to be in this hour. Knowing the storms that's down there in the Gulf. Knowing California on fire, the worst fires ever. Knowing Kim Jong-un testing hydrogen bombs underground, triggering earthquakes. Knowing an 8.0 earthquake just hit Mexico this morning. On top of that hurricane that's down there in Mexico.
going down.
Man, it's going down. How is you in spirit like, oh yeah, whatever?
And listen, don't think that the prophecies ain't playing out. Because nation against nation.
Yeah.
You dealing with that right now. You got people ready to go to war if this cop don't get convicted for murdering that man. Listen, that's over. We've been going through that. Mike Brown, you know what I'm saying? Eric Gordon, you know what I'm saying? Trayvon. It's prophecy unfolding.
Yeah.
And the killer part is that it could be right there, it could be unfolding, you can point to it, and people still.
Yeah.
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 Hey, that's on your mind.
So that's somebody that's settled on their leaves.
What you be saying, Molly, they be trying to like ignore it away.
You can't ignore
it
this
ain't face.
truth away, bro.
Look, I said this on Facebook. You got you can't pray the judgment of God away. Pray for everybody down there in the Lord's front. Look, the Lord's gonna do what he do. All I do is just, Lord, I hope I work. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I ain't saying I ain't sympathetic. I just say I'm not empathetic. I don't know what you're going through.
I mean, look.
I just know the Lord is dropping judgment.
And it's coming.
In 1865, you didn't want to let a Negro free.
Yeah.
Huh? You had to send the Union soldiers down there to Galveston on June the 19th to free slaves that supposed to be free.
Yeah.
So you think God ain't going to judge these people, man?
Oh, judgment is coming. But look, like I say in the song, pray for the peace of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
You should, those us. It's us. You feel me? So that's of course, we always, you know, Most High have mercy on yours, your elect. You understand? But if judgment is coming to those it's meant for, man, I can't pray that away.
I can't.
That'll never happen. All right, what else to say?
It says that say in their heart.
Let's say what?
In their heart. Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil.
See, in their mind, they like, ain't none of that's gonna happen. He ain't gonna do good or evil. What else to say?
13. Therefore, their goods shall become a booty.
Their goods shall become a who?
A booty.
That means everything that you got, that you feel comfortable with, is gonna get took from you. Booty is war terms. It means, you know, rob, plunder, the booty of war. You feel me? That means when you went to war, you took all their goods and all that. They said your goods gonna become a booty. Why? Because you're complacent.
It's like the Negro slave was spoiled.
Yeah. What else to say?
It says in their houses, a desolation.
The very houses that you feel, oh, I'm established. You know, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. I pay my taxes on time. I don't cuss. You feel me? You like, look, their house is gonna be a desolation. Your goods gonna be a booty because you're complacent. You ain't telling folks, look, repent, get your house in order. You feel me? Get yourself together. All right, what else to say?
They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them.
Trip out that. Trip out how hard we done work, especially here in America. You done built this place up, but you don't reap the benefits of it. Right? What else to say?
And they shall plant vineyards.
Yeah.
But not drink the wine thereof.
Now, how you don't get to drink the wine? You the one planting the vineyards. You the one planting the grapes, so the grapes can get squashed down to make grape juice to make wine. Wow, sound like somebody's working but not benefiting off their labor. Who that sound like? Stop thinking the individual as a people. Who that sound like? That's us. Remember, he said he gonna search Jerusalem. What else to say?
The great day of Yod Hey Wahey is near. It is near. And hasted great.
Hold on, it do what?
Hasted great.
What does hasted mean?
Meaning it's hurrying up.
It's on the way.
On the way.
Speeding. Greatly.
Speeding.
What else to say?
Even the voice of the day of Yod Hey Wahey. The mighty man shall cry. They're bitter. That day is a day of wrath.
That day is a day of joy.
A day of wrath.
A day of exuberance.
A day of wrath.
The day of the Most High is a day of wrath. See? All this coincides with the trumpets we going into.
Ain't no smiley face.
What else to say?
A day of trouble and distress.
Wow.
A day of wasteness and desolation.
Wow.
A day of darkness and gloominess.
No, not a day. A bright sunny day.
A day of darkness and gloomy.
Oh, happy day, huh?
A day of darkness and gloomy.
What else to say?
A day of clouds and thick darkness.
What kind of darkness?
And thick darkness.
That's that darkness you can't even see your hand in front of your face.
Egypt.
Yeah, that thick darkness. What else to say?
A day of the trumpet.
That's what I was looking for. You see that? The day of the trumpet.
So trumpet follows with darkness, gloominess, distress, desolation.
So So what are you actually bringing into memorial when we blowing the trumpets and we observing this
The
feast?
coming of the Lord.
That's what you keeping in mind. Feel me? It's deeper. You just getting together, queuing, eating, shooting the breeze. You like, look, let me get myself together because I don't want to be on his bad side when all that kick off.
You can't get caught left field in darkness, distress, wasteness, desolate, darkness, gloominess, and thick darkness. No, nobody want to get caught left field on that day.
You know, some of you Hebrews darkness never died.
Verse 16.
What else is that?
A day of the trumpet.
The day of the trumpet.
And alarm against the fenced cities.
Remember it said the trumpet blow an alarm too, right? An alarm against the fenced cities. Fenced cities are those places where you feel are very well secure. Ain't nobody take down America. Everything's, you know.
What?
He said, look, day of the Lord, all that's coming in. Well, you think you safe, Fed? You ain't safe.
Don't mean nothing.
You ain't safe.
Look, and against the high tower.
Yeah.
Can't go up in the earth.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
It says, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men.
Wow.
Because they have sinned against thee, Yod Hey Wah.
They have sinned against the Most High. He said, I'm going to bring it. I mean, he was just talking about with the Most High bringing judgment. What you think I'm about to do? Like, you can't pray judgment away. It's yours.
Come here.
I'm going to bring distress among them because they sinned against me. And that lets you know folks not repenting. They not sorry or turning back from their crimes against the Most High.
No, I saw people, they got signs up talking about some Irma go home and all that. Like, this is gay.
Irma go home. Rain, go away. Come back another day.
I didn't even know that.
They got signs.
They keep a camera living that side.
It's a whole city where people are staying while we seeing this great exodus happen.
They straight told them yesterday, evacuate. The alarm's going off out there right now. My brother out there, the alarm's going off right now. Like, get up out of this city.
You know what? Another thing, man, a lot of people they go ahead and panic, man. They love all those things.
Look, they telling them board their windows and leave town. Board up your doors, board your windows, and leave.
If the wind is so, it's I forgot what it was, but like 70, 80
Is it 87?
They ain't coming out.
Is it 87 miles? Is it
Is
87 miles an hour now? By midnight, it's supposed to be at 133 miles per hour.
Where you coming up?
That's what I'm saying.
You can walk when he's short, man. They'll go right away.
So in this type of hour, you can't be complacent sitting on your thumb. You need to be teaching the word of God, making sure you searching your heart, making sure you ain't off in wickedness. And you need to be hollering at your brother, making sure they straight. Hey, get your house in order, not the one that's built with mortar. Because a storm coming. And we ain't talking about this shadow, which is Iran. We talking about them trumpets getting blown and the Most High bringing the dark clouds coming on that horse. And he coming to war with his sword in his hand. All right?
All right, man. He tell you exactly what it is, but it's crazy. We can read about it and we can see it, and we go to sleep. We hit snooze.
Yep, real quick.
Yeah, wake me up later. Feel me? Until it's at your front door. Until that all that nuclear radioactive waste go off in Earth City.
And it's gonna be real.
And the mushroom cloud right here on 70 West heading east. You're gonna be screaming for the Lord then.
Israel got a problem with having
The Great Wall didn't save him in the game from.
But like the thing is, we read the Torah, we read the book all day, book of life, and we see all the punishment that came upon our people, and we just turn a blind eye to it until it actually happens to us. We need to get out of that mindset. If somebody's sending a warning saying, look, I went off and this would happen to me, don't do this way. But Israel, we got to bump our heads to learn. We have to learn by experience, and that's the wrong spirit to be in.
The wrong spirit to be in. All right, what else we got, bro?
It says, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
As who?
As the dung.
Who know what dung is?
Poof.
Well, drop out your rear end into that commode. Your flesh gonna be poured out as dung. That's serious.
What you talking about, right here? Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yod Hey Wah Hey wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speeding
A speedy riddance.
A speedy riddance.
Now that again, it's showing you Most High when he enters the judgment, he ain't gonna be delaying. What's up with you, Hebrews? Y'all good? What's happening with y'all good? Your brothers at? Oh, okay. Yeah, they gonna make a speed. He gonna make a speedy riddance. You see that? And he gonna hurry up and do it. What's up with you, Hebrews? Y'all good? Shalom.
Yeah.
What's up with you, man? Yeah. Y'all good? You tired or something? All right, little joke. All right, little joke.
A speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
Yeah. So all right, drop in. Let's go. Let's show the actual. That was a shadow. Let's go show what it is. Going to the New Testament. Let's go to Matthew. Book of Matthew 24. Matthew 24. We see that the day of the Lord is a day of darkness, a day of trumpets. Thick darkness. You're gonna bring distress upon men. That they walk like blind men. Your flesh gonna be poured out as dung. Your blood is dust. And he say, why? Because you sinned against me. Mainly because we ain't repented of our crimes against him. That's how our people is. Like Jose just said it down. They're throwing hurricane party.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Gonna party like it's 1999. Just you know.
Just like Sodom and Gomorrah was before
Man,
you
y'all
looked at
crazy as all hell. But you know, look.
Y'all seen it in that movie? They went right on top of the field with the aliens, right under the ship. All the time, they got that big old beam on it.
Hey, look, now that you right. They did. Man, this was like, it's all good, whatever. But look, even in Noah's day, some of y'all done read the book of Joshua. How long was Noah preaching repentance and warning our people the storm was coming?
Like 100 years.
120 years. He told everybody, like, look, the judgment coming. You feel me? They was laughing at him, like, man, what you doing building a boat on dry land?
Building a boat.
It ain't even rained around here. What you doing building the boat? They was mocking the brother. But he had enough sense to prepare and get himself together and say, look, the storm is coming. You feel me? Get yourself together. All right, Matthew 24, where we going next? Matthew 24. 29. Let's read 29, 33.
Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 29. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened.
So that you're going to lose lights out. Your main source of light, lights out. Sun going to be dark. All right, what else to say?
And the moon shall not give her light.
More than likely, it's going to be blood red. You bring the other scriptures in, blood red moon. A couple years ago, them blood red moons was hitting on all the holy days.
2 years ago.
Passover, tabernacle, Passover, tabernacle. Those were shadows of the day of the Lord.
Straight blood red too.
Those were shadows of what's coming. They all fell on high holy days. And you only peeped it, unless you just went outside and was like, oh, okay, look at the moon, it's red, girl, take a picture. If you wasn't observing the feast, you feel me? You would have never known they all fell on the feast of the Most High.
What's crazy?
On the appointments of the Most High.
What's crazy? You know, people don't even look up. Yeah. I straight be having to tell people, hey, you peep that moon? They're like, oh, no, I don't ever even look up at the moon.
Yeah.
Like, people don't even look to the heavens at all.
Yeah. Even though they were given as what? Signals and appointments that you know what time we in. That's the Most High's calendar. No matter what the Gregorian calendar say what day you in, if you know how to read the skies, you already know. You know what day of the month we in, you already know what seasons we in and everything. We just lost our connection with the heavens. We don't know no more. That knowledge has been stripped from us, but it's in the scripture. All right, what else to say?
It says, and the stars shall fall from heaven.
Yeah.
And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn.
Now, trip off that. We read in Zephaniah where the mighty man was going to cry bitterly. Didn't we read that in Zephaniah?
Yep.
That just said right here, so we lining it up, Old Testament to New Testament. All the tribes of the earth go mourn. Now, why all the tribes of the earth go? I thought everybody loved Jesus. Everybody loved God. So if the Son of the Most High is making his reappearance back into this realm, why everybody mourn? Could it be possible that you've been past a false Messiah? You think he love everybody, everybody love him? But if that's the case, why everybody mourning when he show back Okay, what else it say?
It says, and they shall see the Son of Man come into the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet.
Hold on, there go that trumpet again. We keep bumping into trumpets when we talk about the gathering of his people, the saving from your enemies, and the day of the Most High. Trumpets blow. But notice he say he gonna send his angels with the great sound of a trump. What is this memorial blowing trumpets really about?
Coming of Yahushua in war. You only blow trumpets when war comes.
Or to be gathered from your saved from your enemies, gather the people. You feel me? War's coming. The day of the Lord. That's what that's about. All right. What else it say?
It says, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds.
There go the gathering. So for you folk that believe in a rapture, this is not talking about no rapture. You feel me? Notice it said after the tribulation. See, everybody that believe in that rapture doctrine, they believe that they're gonna get saved all type of hell when they break loose. They believe that.
They ain't want nothing to do with that dark. They ain't want nothing to do with the voice. They're like, look, we getting gathered before that.
But look, that's a false doctrine because we just read after the tribulation.
Yeah.
That's when the Messiah gonna be sent by his Father to gather his people with the sound of a trumpet. You understand? And that's why all the nations gonna mourn because it's wartime. You feel me? They know they've been lying on the Son of God. Nah, World War III is not Armageddon. Armageddon is the last war. You read about that in Revelation 20. That's after the 1,000-year millennial reign. That's when Armageddon kick off. You feel me? That's when the Most High gonna rain fire down from heaven. That's when Satan let up out his prison. I remember when the Messiah ruled for 1,000 years, the enemy is locked down for 1,000 years. And after that, he let out for a short season to see if those has been serving us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all tired of serving them. Look, we can take them. Unwalled cities, we can take them. You're going to deceive them, Gog and Magog and all that. That's after the 1,000-year millennial reign. What we on the brink of is World War III. Nuclear fallout, all that. All right, what else?
It says, from one end of heaven to the other.
Yeah.
Now learn the parable of the fig tree.
Yeah.
When his branch is yet tender and put it forth leaves, ye know that summer is not.
So he say, look at nature. You can read the signs of nature. You know seasons are shifting. Sinuses start acting up. You can look at the trees and see the trees are budding, the grass is getting green. You can read nature, but you can't read the signs at the time. Where we at? Feel me? He gave you signs to look for. And they happening. So how you not discerning the time that you in, but you can read the signs of the season? Somebody in denial. All right, go ahead.
Verse 33.
Yeah.
So likewise ye shall see all these things. Know that it is near, even at your door.
Even word?
At your door.
It's knocking at your door, baby. Prophecy is popping. It's a beautiful time to be living with those that believe and know the truth, all right? I drop. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4. Another example of the gathering, the day of the Lord, the trumpet blowing. So we can understand what this is about. And then if you got anybody, you know what I'm saying, you grew up with in church or whatever, you know what I'm saying, start sharing some of these scriptures with them. Like, you know, we supposed to be observing the memorial blowing of trumpets. They more than likely ain't gonna know what you're talking about. But it's time for us to sit down and open up these scriptures and get it in with them. Maybe they don't know. You feel me? It's time for you to know this. Now, if they don't want to know, then that's something different. But, you know, if your people want to know, they need to know what time we're in. Because most of them should have been raptured out of here by now. Kim Jong-un is testing nuclear bombs on the ground now. You should have been gone. You should have been raptured up out of here. Donald Trump dropping Moab bombs. You feel me? You should have been raptured up out of here. The mark of the beast is out here now. You feel me? Pretty soon to be mandatory. You should have been gone. So, hey, since you ain't been raptured yet, I love you, and we all been to church our whole life, it's time for us to get to these understandings. So they need to be observing these feasts, especially in this season right here. This season is about the coming of the Lord. That's what it's all about. Feel me? And that's if your people got an ear to hear, share it with them. Let them know. They don't want to hear that something different. If they got an ear, let them know, like, look, we're supposed to be observing this. What is the trumpets? What would you tell them? What would you tell them if you was like, look, we're supposed to be observing the memorial trumpets? You feel me? And they was like, well, what is the trumpets? What do you mean? What is it? What do they mean, Ursh? Like, what do the trumpets mean? What would you tell them? It's a warning of what's coming. Ushering in the day of the Lord. Feel me? When we get into Revelations, when them trumps get to blowing, because you read it all the time in Revelation about the angel blowing the trump, and all hell break loose. You feel me? And it ain't to the last trump that the Lord set his kingdom up. Yeah. 1 Thessalonians 4. Let's read 13 on down now.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13.
Yes, sir.
But I would not have you to be ignorant, brother, concerning them which are asleep.
Which are who?
Which are asleep.
You think that's just somebody sleep for the night? When they say sleep in the Bible, is going into death. You say concerning those that are asleep or dead. All right. What else you say?
That ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
So those of us that have died in the truth, he let us know, don't be sorrowing like that. Don't sorrow as others that don't have hope. If you died in the truth, you good. You good. You got a reward coming. You know what I'm saying? Others that don't have no hope, you need to be sorrowing for. All right, what else to say?
For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will God bring with him.
You see that? So those that have died and gone on already, he say they're going to be gathered to him. They're going to be resurrected to him. You feel me? They're going to be given a reward and they come in with him. All right, what it say? It
says, for this we say unto you, by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep.
So those of us say we live to see him return. We won't be gathered to him before those that have already died and laid down and gave their testimony.
Dead rise first.
Which is proper order. How are you getting gathered to him before those that died and laid their life down?
Right.
So you won't prevent those that have already laid their life down and gave their testimony. Right? So if you make it to see him return, those that are dead will be resurrected to him before you get gathered to him. Yeah. What did it say?
It's verse 16. For the Lord himself.
The Lord who?
Himself.
That had to be the Messiah. Ain't talking about the Father. Go ahead.
Shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God.
There go that trump again. You see? Everywhere where you read about the day of the Most High, you're going to read about trumpets going on. You read about the gathering of Israel, the gathering of his people, trumpets are blowing. You see that? Being saved from your enemy, trumpets are blowing. That's what this speech is all about. All right, what else to say?
And the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the cloud to meet the Lord in the air.
Yeah.
And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Now, this is the scripture they go to prove it's a rapture. Right? Because they said we're going to be caught up in the earth and we're going to forever be with the Lord. Right? It don't say you're going to forever be in the earth. But you're getting gathered to him for a reason. I want to go here first before we go show why you being gathered to him and caught up into the earth. You see what I'm saying? They'll read this one scripture right here and say, see, there go the rapture. Notice it said the trump of the Most High. Like we read in Matthew 24. Like we read in Zephaniah chapter 1. Like we read in Numbers 10. Right? Like we read in Leviticus 23, the trump of the Most High. Right? We keep hearing about the trump. All right, what else to say?
Verse 18. Yeah. Wherefore, comfort one another with these words.
Go to 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15. 1 Corinthians 15, 35 on down. Let's get into it. So we got the trump blowing. We got the people being gathered to him, getting caught up in the earth. And it just said we're going to forever be with the Lord. But the question is the Lord staying in the earth?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
Get caught up in the earth. They said like this going back Christ like that.
Yeah, yeah.
We gonna be here for all the destruction.
Yeah.
They teach like you gonna get a lot of here before the destruction starts.
Right. They missing key words like Trump. Now all you gotta do that whole doctrine to come tumbling down. You ask them, what's the trump of God? And where can I read about that at? Once you get to asking them questions right there, it's gonna be a whole bunch of swallowing, scratching. You feel me? Because he ain't prepped to answer that. Once we get into the trumpets of the Most High, you feel me? You put everything in its proper order. You want to get that pre-tribulation rapture up out of it. It don't hold no water. It don't hold no water. That's why we went there first. Now we're gonna go to 1 Corinthians 15. We're gonna read it. We're gonna read about us being gathered to him again. Trumpets blowing and everything, but he's gonna give a deeper understanding on what all this about. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 15, 35 through 58. Let's get into it.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 35.
No, he said the dead gonna rise first. So we know we talking about a resurrection, right? We know we talking about a resurrection.
Yeah.
And then we that's alive gonna be gathered to him, right? So all right. So let's get into it. Why are you getting gathered to him in mid-earth? And the second question will be, is the Lord staying in the earth? He's bringing the kingdom. Is he gonna stay in the earth with it? Where he coming with that kingdom?
Earth.
Ah, so you must be getting gathered to him for a reason before he ushers that deal right here. Let's read 1 Corinthians 15.
We're going to start at 33. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Yeah, like your rapture, that's an evil communication. It corrupt good manners. They have you in your mind thinking, that's for all you sinners. I'm not going to be here to face none of that.
Right.
I'm going to be gone.
Right.
Jesus is going to grab me about it. I'm not going to see nothing about no market.
Your faith ain't even been tested.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
It corrupt good manners, right?
I'm not to put up, but I'm reading on this. You know what I'm saying? We talk about keeping the peace. What better habits do you have than keeping the peace of the Lord? You know what I'm saying? Not believing this doctrine right here. I have you doing just that, keeping all the wrong, having all the wrong.
Yeah. Missing all your appointments.
Oh, yeah.
It made that damn appointment of the Most High. Come on, what else to say?
It says, verse 34, awake to righteousness,
Yeah,
and sin not.
yeah.
For some have not the knowledge of God. I speak this to your shame.
Yeah.
But some men will say, how are the dead raised up?
Because we were just reading it in Thessalonians, right? About the dead and how the dead going to be gathered to them. But how the dead get raised up? That's a good question. What you mean? Are we going to be walking around like zombies? That's a good question. Like, what you mean the resurrection of the dead? What you mean I'm getting out the grave? How? Right? So even Paul, when he was writing this, was like, some going to ask, how will the dead be raised up? Good question. All right? We going to be like the night of the living dead around here? Worms crawling out our foreheads? All right, what else to say?
And with what body do they come?
Good question. You get about the grave looking decrepit, sick, your skeleton showing. You getting gathered to the Lord, right? How are you getting resurrected out that grave? That's the whole point. All right, and when? Let's read.
Thou fool.
Thou who?
Thou fool. That which thou sowest is not quickened except it die.
Sow mean plant. Quick mean make alive.
You gotta go in that ground to get raised up. Same thing you do with flowers. Plant a dead seed and life spring forth from it.
Yeah. What you put in the ground.
Okay, we did.
No, man. Verse 36. Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened, except it die.
So what you plant, sow mean plant. What you plant will not be made alive or quickened unless it's buried first. It's like with a seed, what he just said. You take a dead seed, bury it in the ground, and then it sprout up fruit. It sprout up whatever fruit kind of seed you put down there.
Check this
so
out.
we're saying the same thing with the resurrection. What it say?
Because your body is a plant. It must be buried to resurrect again and get a glorified body.
No, let's read. He's really going to explain.
Verse 37. In which thou sowest, thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain.
Don't you? When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't plant a whole banana.
No, you don't.
You don't plant an apple or orange, you plant the seed.
There you go.
Don't you? All right, go ahead.
It may chance of wheat
Mm-hmm.
or of some other grain.
Yeah.
But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him.
Yeah.
And to every seed his own body.
That kills reincarnation.
Kill it. I know.
Every seed gets its own body. Right? Go ahead.
All flesh is not the same flesh,
Uh-oh.
but there are one kind of flesh of man, and another flesh of beast, and another of fish, and another of bird. There are also celestial bodies, and bodies terrestrial.
Yeah, heavenly bodies, earthly bodies. Go ahead.
But the glory of celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star different from another star in glory.
Yeah.
So also is the resurrection of the dead.
See, so he did all that to compare that to the resurrection of the dead. All right? Come on.
It is sown in corruption.
It is planted or buried in corruption. Go ahead.
It is raised in incorruption.
So you go into the ground corruptible. You get raised incorruptible. Remember, what body do you come out the grave in? Yeah. The dead in Christ shall rise first, right? They're going to be raised up incorruptible.
Right.
You go into the grave dead, sick, diseases. Yeah. You can throw your hip out of socket, twist your ankle.
Get your brain thrown out.
You feel me? You go into the grave corruptible. You get raised out the grave, resurrection, like Christ was resurrected, incorruptible.
New body.
My new body.
Man, my new body.
Yeah. What else to say? Go ahead.
Verse 43.
Yeah.
It is sold in dishonor. It is raised in glory.
You get buried in dishonor, but you get raised in glory. So you got an incorruptible, glorious body coming. What else?
It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power.
You got an incorruptible, glorious, powerful body coming. At resurrection, the dead in Christ shall rise first. Yeah. Go ahead. What else to say?
It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body.
Incorruptible, glorious, powerful, spiritual body. So you don't get up out the grave as no zombie. Yeah. Worms crawling out your head. You feel me? You get out that grave immortal, powerful, glorious, incorruptible. And it's not the same as, just like the seed ain't the same as you bury in the ground.
And look, you know that from, look, so we all in our flesh right now, right? But go to sleep and have a dream. When you using your hands and your feet while you in your bed sleep, what body is you using in this different realm of reality when you sleep? You using another body. This just shows you scientifically that you have another body besides the one that we in right now communicating with each other. Shows you right there.
Look, the bodies Adam and Eve had before they transgressed. Yeah. That's what you getting back. Exactly. Immortality. They was made to live forever. Yeah. Powerful. They show you, but they had powerful, glorious, incorruptible. You feel me? Those are the spiritual bodies. Those are the type of bodies they had. That's what you getting back.
Makes sense, huh?
What else to say?
It says there is a natural body and there is a spiritual body.
So earth, you have a spiritual body. You're be waiting on you. What else to say?
Verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
Yeah.
The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
Talk about the Messiah. He was made a living spirit, quickening spirit. All right. What else to say?
Howbeit, that was not first, which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual. The first man is of the earth. Yeah. The second man is the Lord from heaven.
Think about the Messiah. The second man is the Lord from heaven.
Is the Lord.
Come on. What does it say?
As is the earth, such are there also that are earth.
Right.
And as is the heaven, such are they also that are heaven. And as we have borne the image of earth.
Born means carry. As we have carried this earthly image, this corruptible image, this weak, dishonorable image, right? What's going to happen?
We shall also bear the image of the heaven.
We're going to carry the image of the heaven. Incorruptible, powerful, glorious, spiritual. That's what's coming to us. All right? Now, we finna put it all in its proper perspective. What else to say?
Verse 50.
Yeah.
Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God.
So that which is, that's which is corruptible, weak, dishonorable, and natural can't inherit God's kingdom. This can't inherit God's kingdom. What else to say, bro?
Neither do corruption inherit incorruption.
Corruption can't inherit incorruption. Right? This is corruptible. It can't inherit that which is eternal.
The eternal corruption.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. That happened in the kingdom, it won't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It won't happen.
If this made it to the kingdom, it's eternal corruption.
It won't be another Adam and Eve mistake in the heavenly ever again.
Never again.
Ever.
In existence. What else to say?
Verse 51. Yeah. Behold, I show you a mystery.
Now here comes the mystery. It's about to be revealed. A mystery is something that needs to be searched out, right? To be revealed. I'm going to show you a mystery. Go ahead.
We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
Yeah.
In a moment. In the twinkling of an eye.
Hold on, y'all know I heard that before, right? That's a half verse though. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. We all done heard that before, right? Yeah, I forgot the high, right? What else to say though? Finish it off.
At the last trump.
There go that trump again. At the last trump. So what you read about? Yeah, but look. But what we was reading in 1 Thessalonians. What we was reading in 1 Thessalonians about getting caught up with him in the earth, right? To meet him in the earth.
Whole point of being gathered.
He's telling you right now. That's actually what he's telling you right now.
You just finished. Yeah. Go ahead. You
For the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
And we shall be changed.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption.
That's why you meet them in the earth. This corruptible flesh must put on incorruption. Must put on incorruption.
You see it? A horn blow doesn't alarm. It means you need to move a certain way. But then these trumpets you're hearing is all about gathering. Right? So a horn is blown, a gathering is taking place. Then there's another horn blown, you can move the dead, deal with, who rises and what's going on. Then there's the last trumpet, then we all should change. So everybody will share their corruptible flesh. You don't get eternity. You'll be in the kingdom or you're going to be in the land.
What you doing?
But notice you get caught up and you change while you in the first level of the heavens. That's the whole thing. It's to change your garment. So think about this. Corruption and fire and destruction is coming to earth. So after all of that, you get purified, but you have to get caught up into the heavens to get put on your immortal body. You just going to meet God for him to give you your new change of skin.
That's what you're doing. You get a new outfit.
He was out of body, but that wasn't the resurrection. That wasn't the resurrection. More than likely, he had just got stoned. You feel me? It's an out of body experience he was having. This right here got to do with the last trump. You understand?
They're already in the ground, so they got what they got going on. They already been sold, and whatever fruit they supposed to be burned, like, it's coming forth. But see, there are us that say we didn't pass that way. So we still have on our incorruption. So the gathering together to shed the incorruption, to get our perfect body and either eternity here or eternity.
But this in the midst of turmoil, though, in the midst of fire, in the midst of all destruction. So he catch you up to give you your new meat suit. Whether you go into the lake or
your spiritual body,
or your
spiritual body, your eternal power. But look, as once we get to Revelations, it's gonna explain it all. You feel me? Because you're gonna see all the hell breaking loose. The first angel sounding this high, the second angel sounding this high.
Right. But the thing is, if you go into the lake of fire, your body not glorified. You just got a spiritual meat suit. You still going to that lake, though. You know what I'm saying? All right, so verse 53 again. But this corruptible must put on incorruption, and the mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the same that is written. Death is swallowed up in victory.
Death is what?
Swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? This sting of death is sin, And the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
That's why. Always doing this right here. Always. Steadfast and unmovable, because what you got coming. If you faithful, you got glorious, powerful, incorruptible, spiritual bodies coming. We say, why you where we at? Be steadfast and unmovable. Always doing this. Why though?
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
All right, look, let's go to Joel chapter 2. Because look, you get caught up in the earth. You get caught up in the earth, right? 1 through 12.
So, say it.
You get caught up in the earth, Joel chapter 2, right? But the question is, do you stay in the earth with the Lord? See, he bringing the kingdom. You just gonna stay in the earth, so you must be getting caught up to him for a reason, and that's to put on your immortality. You feel me? But the Lord's coming to earth to conquer. Well, let's read it. Let's get a sneak peek into that. Joel chapter 2, the day of the Lord again. Not sure about this. Joel chapter 2.
Joel chapter 2, verse 1.
Yeah.
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
There go that trumpet again. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion. Go ahead, Hebrew.
And sound an alarm in my holy mount.
Yeah.
That all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh. For it is nigh at hand.
See, so now you got people trembling, like we read in Matthew 24. The nations are gonna be mourning. Read in Zephaniah 1, the mighty man gonna cry bitterly. So we'll say, look, at the day of the Lord, let the inhabitants of the land tremble. But no, it's the trumpet blowing, right? All right, go ahead.
A day of darkness and of gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness.
Makes sense, because didn't he say the sun was gonna lose his light? The moon, the star, it's just dark. Lights out. All right, go ahead.
As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong there has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Now hold on, we talking about the day of the Lord. Who are these people with? Who are the people with the Lord in that day? We read in Thessalonians that those that sleep in Christ shall God bring with him. Right? We read about us getting caught up to him and getting our immortal bodies and all that. This Joel chapter 2 right here. It's talking about the day of the Lord, and then they get talking about people that's with him. A great and strong people. The world ain't never seen no people like this. Even to the years of many generations. Who is this? With the Lord that day. Where you at? Didn't you just get caught up to him? Again, do you stay in the earth with the Lord? Do you get caught up to him? All right, so this right here is showing what? Where the Lord at with this right here? Is he in the air or on the earth? He's on the earth. And the Lord is with, he ain't by himself. He's with a great people that ain't nobody ever seen before. The world ain't never seen no people like this before, even to the years of many generations. Remember, you get a glorious, powerful, incorruptible, spiritual body. Let's see if these people got these type of bodies. What else to say?
Verse 3.
Yeah.
Fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame.
Yeah.
Burnt. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Paradise in front of them. Behind them, everything destroyed. Fire is burning around them, like he described his angels. He makes his angels a flame of fire. Remember, Christ said we should be made like the angels. What else to say?
Yeah, nothing shall escape them.
Them. Say the Lord, nothing gonna escape them. What else to say?
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses.
It's Joel chapter 2. It say the appearance of them is like the appearance of horses. Feel me? Metaphorical talk, like you trip off how many horsepower do we have up under his hood? You feel me? It is showing you how strong and how powerful these people gonna be. All right, what else to say?
And as horsemen, so shall they run.
That's right. Come on.
Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap.
They're gonna have leaping abilities you ain't never seen. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. You feel me? We marking it. We walking it down from the trumpet resurrection. You gather to him in the earth. You got your glorious, powerful spiritual body. Now the Lord is on the earth conquering, and he got people with him. Let's see who these people are. Keep reading.
Like the noise of a flame of fire that devours stubble.
Yeah.
As a strong people set in battle array.
Setting who?
Set in battle
These
array.
people are setting battle array. So this is a war. This is an army of God. These people are setting battle array. They not sloppy with it. They not, everybody doing their own thing. They all in rank. They taking order. But they powerful, glorious, and the world ain't never seen nobody like this before. And these people with the Lord. Who are these people? Come on, Hebrew, let's get it.
For their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather black. They shall run like mighty men.
They shall run like who?
Mighty men.
Come on.
They shall climb the wall like men of war.
Hey, whoever these men is with him in that day, they ain't playing no games. No, all this got to do with them trumpets we talking about. All right? They shall climb the wall like men of war. Come on.
And they shall march every one on his way.
Yeah.
And they shall not break their rank.
Perfect order. They ain't even gonna be stepping on each other's heels. They ain't gonna be breaking rank, no nothing. Ready to do the will of their God.
They train.
What else to say?
Neither shall one thirst another.
Thrust another.
They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Hold on. What you mean if they fall upon a sword? Modern day swords are weapons. This devil gonna be shooting all type of weapons, but the people with the Lord not gonna be wounded.
Like immortality.
Kind of body they got?
Glorified body, indestructible body. That new body.
So yeah, you get gathered to the Most High. Yeah, the trump blow after the last trump. But these people with the Lord, that's coming with the Lord to conquer. You feel me? The world ain't never seen nobody like that. And we got scriptures to show what? The dead in Christ get resurrected to them. They get a glorious, powerful, incorruptible spiritual body. Us that's faithful until the end get the same thing. You get caught up in the earth to receive your reward. And then the Lord brings his kingdom to the earth and he got people with him. Wow. What else to say?
They shall run to and fro in the city.
Yeah.
They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the house. They shall enter in at the window like a thief.
That's right.
Anti-gravity bodies.
The earth shall quake before them.
The earth shall quake before them.
Remember that on 300?
Yeah.
Yes, we said, what's this?
Yeah.
Formation, boy.
Yeah, come on.
The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shine.
Hold on. So did we read it in Matthew 24?
Yes, we did.
So this is the same exact time frame. We read it in Matthew 24. You feel me? We done read it in Zephaniah chapter 1. Now we're reading again in Joel chapter 2. It's all the same language. You see? Come on, Hebrew.
And the Most High shall utter his voice before his army.
Before his who?
His army.
Come on.
For his camp is very great. For he is strong that executed his word.
Yeah.
For the day of the Most High is great and very terrible.
Woo!
And who can abide it?
And who can what?
Abide.
And who can abide it? So notice it say these men are his army. Right? Nobody ever seen men like this. Let's go track down the Lord's army. Who is the Lord's army? Ezekiel 37, 9 through 14. Let's go track them down. We've been tracking down this whole thing. Trumpet, gathering, resurrection, spiritual. 37, 9 through 14. We didn't track the whole thing down in the day of the Lord. Ezekiel 37, 9 through 14. We're going to end it with Revelations, the 8th chapter, to show them trumps. That's the whole meaning behind the trumps, is to usher in the day of the Lord. You understand? And if you found faithful, you're going to be gathered to him. If you found faithful, you're going to be gathered to him. You understand? He coming with an army.
Ezekiel chapter 37.
9 through 14.
Oh. Everything
Yeah, they coming for war. That's the only thing on their mind, war. Slay the wicked.
Oh, yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Lollipops, gun drop, doctor.
They got you think, yeah, it's a great time.
Then it's gonna be a dark, gloomy day.
When they really see it, a lot of this don't die from the sight.
It said that
Because
people
they've
were
been
going
told.
Yeah,
That's
people are
right.
to feel it.
That's the same thing with Messiah, though. They like just, oh, yeah, just turn up.
Giving hugs. Giving hugs.
Yeah. Stop it. Give a Jolly Rancher and a hug.
Right.
It's okay. You're a murdering adulterer. It's okay. Not repentant.
The Lord is
They're gonna look at the
war.
wall like, you really is black.
Yeah. These niggas done stole heaven.
These niggas
These niggas have stole the throne of God.
Oh, these niggas made it in.
I peeped that though. It said this how you know people been fooled. It said that people they're gonna have so much fear that their heart will fail. They're gonna be dropping dead of cardiac arrest. Because what they see is gonna be so man.
Him being black, God being black.
What'd you say?
The movie Green Pasture.
Green Pasture, yeah. Everybody was black. The angels, everybody. That movie was made back in the 30s, 1930 something. Yeah, it was a black God, black guy. Yeah. All right, let's get this. Ezekiel 37. Remember, said he could utter his voice before his army, before his camp is very great. We read about the day of the Lord, read about trumpets, but then we read about a people so great, ain't nobody ever seen nothing like this. The other scriptures show that the dead gonna be resurrected, given immortal, powerful, incorruptible bodies, spiritual bodies. Those that are faithful to him get caught up. Same thing. Joel 2 show these people with him on the earth. All right, so let's go show who the army is. Let's not guess at it. Let's get it.
Now we in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 9.
We got a couple more scriptures and we're gonna close down.
Then said he unto me,
Yeah.
prophesy unto the wind.
Hold on for a second. He said, do what?
Prophesy unto the wind.
Right.
Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus said the Lord God, come from the four winds, O breathe, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live.
That's right.
So,
yeah. And he told the wind, he basically commanded the wind to breathe upon these slain that they may live. Who are the slain? You check out Malcolm X before he died. He went into it and said, the Ezekiel 37 is talking about the Negro here in America. Even Malcolm X knew this before he died. All right, go ahead. What did it say?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
So I prophesied as he commanded.
Yeah.
And the breath came unto them.
Yeah.
And they lived.
Yeah.
And they stood up upon their feet. An exceeding great army.
Then we just read the Most High uttered his voice before his army. Now these people right here got the breath of God put back in them. You understand? They stood up on their feet, an exceeding great army. Who are these people? What did it say?
Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones, or the whole house of Israel.
The army of God is the whole house of Israel.
Right.
The whole house of Israel. And we got brothers that are angels. Angels call us brothers.
Just like
Messiah said, you will be made like the angels. You will be made powerful, angelic, incorruptible, immortal. You understand? That's what we got coming to us. And in that day, you ain't gonna have to worry about none of that. You know, police rolling up, killing us. The whole house of Israel. So when he said in Joel 2, those great people, remember Joel 2, those great people that the world ain't, that's Israel. That's why we walked it on down. We showed the resurrection, we showed all of it. That's Israel. And he utters his voice before his army. He said they stood up an exceeding great army. These bones are the whole house of Israel. See? Let them finish off. I'm coming to you. Go ahead.
Behold, they say, our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. Therefore, prophesy and say unto them, thus said the Lord God, behold, O my people, I will open your grave.
What does it mean to open your grave? What's happening there? Resurrection. I'm going to open your graves. So when you open your grave, how you coming out that grave?
Incorruptible.
Okay. Spiritual, incorruptible, glorious, and power. You feel me? The whole house of Israel getting gathered to the Most High. That's the army of God. See what I'm saying? And those are the people that's with the Lord in Joel chapter 2 that say the world ain't never seen nobody like this. They got the earth quaking before them. Yeah, you be watching. Y'all be watching all that too, man. I mean, my type of movies, Avengers, and all them little different movies. You know what I'm saying? Thor and Captain America and all. Yeah, I be in all that because they getting all the ideas of these supernatural, multi-dimensional beings from the script. No one's reading about our forefathers. Hosea got the pseudepigraphers and all that. When you read about the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs, man, it's beyond clear. It's beyond clear where they get all the ideas about every superhero they put in the comic book they get from our forefathers. Because they know. All right, what else to say?
It says, and cause you to come up out of your grave.
Yeah.
And bring you unto the land of Israel.
That's right.
And ye shall know that I am the Lord.
That's right.
When I have opened your graves, O my people.
Yeah.
And brought you up out of your grave.
Resurrection. Come on.
And shall put my spirit in you.
Spiritual body. Come on.
And ye shall live.
Ooh.
And ye shall place. And I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, the Lord, have spoken and performed, said the Lord.
Saith the Most High. He promised that to us. Then you got something. We're going to Revelation 8:6.
There was a lot going on. It was like, if you listen, they said Israel already in the land.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Israel had to be resurrected to get the land.
Graves opening outside of our land.
That's right, huh?
Yeah.
So they can't be Israel over there right now.
While he prophesied, he's showing that them don't fit. They don't fit the prophet. While he prophesied, he's showing, hey, these people don't fit. They don't even fit the prophet.
Run it down, Nee. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, the people that's got to be gathered, awakened. You know what I'm saying? Ones and who did what? Lost hope. You know what I'm saying? What people on this planet that lost hope?
The Negro.
You know what I'm saying? And it's prophesied. You know what I'm saying? Growth in the noonday, growth at night.
Yeah, God.
You know what I'm saying? No longer the life they had, father upon each other's stores.
Power in the hand.
You know what I'm saying? Vote for your enemy of all things, carry to a man, your children. No hope, no help. You know what I'm saying? What people have been trodden down like that? Who needs the salvation, man?
We need to be, more than ever be observing this Feast of Memorial Trumpets. We should be doing it. This is an appointed time because that's what's coming to us. Immortality. You understand? Incorruptible, power, glorious spiritual bodies. Feel me? The very same thing Adam and Eve had before they transgressed. And you don't want that back? You don't want to teach your children that?
No more fear.
Man, following the sword, it won't be warm.
Yeah.
Climbing, he said it was running to climbing the walls, man.
They shall climb the wall like they go like chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. I mean leaping out the atmosphere. Like, man, who is this?
I don't know about the business one, man.
Yeah.
Might not make it.
Yeah, you and your brother, you're corruptible right now, brother. Your spiritual body, boy, you more than likely that did.
If I make it through the first I'm doing it.
Hey man, whatever, man. All right, man, let's finish it off, baby.
You know, when you really digest and ingest this, though, that is a beautiful mind-boggling thing. Like you can't even really fathom. Like that is.
But it's not though.
Man.
But you know what though? But you know what, man? They're not. It was never, ever about quantity. I mean, quantity. It was never
8, 1 to 6.
It don't say that the word don't want to go out to the full quarter. That's your mission. Let's take the word out.
Put it
But
right
who
where
you
you
gathering?
get.
What is gathered?
That make everybody say, man, let me get myself.
He said, I will make you fishermen of men. We cast the net out. We don't steal the net. We cast it out. You know what I'm saying? The Lord rescues us. He's the husband. Christ is the vine. We the branch.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Those that don't make it get cut off. Right. Like
I remember I came up here early this week. Me, I was up here with you, over here with Ursh and Mina. And we were talking about Ezra, and we was talking about what's the brother's name? Shadrach. Shadrach and the Pseudo prisoners and all that. He told Ezra and Shadrach, like, don't even worry about those that's gonna perish. You feel me? Trip off how you got salvation coming, because you understand this truth. You feel me? Yeah.
Just like your prayers for your people. That's what your praying. And it should be.
Yeah.
Pray, that's what Paul prayed. Pray that Israel might be saved. But it never was about everybody's Israel and Israel. You have to balance the scripture. Or if not, you'll be sitting saying, oh, that's right there. That's
Hey, what's up with y'all little joke? Y'all keep it down, man.
What's that word called? What's that word called?
Yeah. But look, that's natural. You're gonna do that. Remember we read the state of the departed? Remember he say, look, now is the time that the strong pray for the weak. But in that day, that the day of judgment is decisive.
That's what it is.
Look, the strong won't be praying for the weak in that day. So that's why we got a job to do now.
If you read that sort of Pigaffer, and it actually said it once you get in that third book of Enoch, it said that once the righteous die and they in their hollow space, it says that they can see the treasures laid up for themselves and look over to the wicked. It said that they rejoice. They rejoice that they finna get damnation because they know that that was one of the 7 ways. One was because they went there. But if you look at that third way, they rejoice at the condemnation that's coming to them people because they dishonored their God. You dishonored my God. You dishonored me.
Yeah,
judgment coming. Hallelujah. Yeah. That was one of them 7 ways that they rejoice.
You said right.
You said exactly right.
It's messed up. Like, look, any of y'all in here right now think about the worst mofo that you ever had people. How's that worst mofo and his people raising your children?
Nah.
Giving you a job. Got you practicing his way.
Man, look.
Think about the nigga right now you had the most people. How you become like him?
And look, check this out. They ain't hang you by your necks. They ain't castrate you. They ain't set you on fire. They ain't rip you in half. They ain't rape your foremothers. That's what I'm saying. So like the rejoicing of, like, we're rejoicing. It ain't the color that we're rejoicing of. We're rejoicing that, hey, this evil is finally getting put down. Whether you an Israelite or whether you a heathen.
Right.
This evilness is no longer going to be oppressed upon.
Uprooted out the earth. That's right.
That's something to rejoice in. Hallelujah. No matter what color it is, hallelujah. Your wicked ass ain't a part of this no more.
Yeah.
Hey, but what I want to tell you, your wicked ass.
Yeah. Hey, let's do this. Yeah, real talk. That's real talk. It ain't you don't hate nobody just because of how they look. It's the actions. It's the deeds that's been done.
I mean, you got man, something happened to Boo and your nieces and I'm saying your grandson.
Man, what you on, little joker?
Nothing won't happen.
Well, that little joker there, boy. Hey, come on, let's finish this off. I don't know about this shit on the phone.
We're able to speak. All right, so what we
hey, man. You need me to rough that little joker up?
You must get whooped on by everybody.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, fall back, little joker.
You about to lose the rest of your mohawk.
You want us to wait, Ursh? You good?
Yeah.
You good? We're going to Revelation 8. We're going to read 1 through 6 about these trumps. And then we're going to read Revelation 11, 15 through 18. That's it. It's about them trumps. You did?
You good, Ursh?
And remember, the memorial, Revelation 8, 1 through 6. Revelation 8, chapter 8, verse 1 through 6. And then Revelations of the 11th chapter, verses 15 to 18.
Speak up for the camera. They can hear you.
But see, look, that's why it's about the quality of who is first. You know, 2/3. Look, bro, we got it. Drop the water to a wave. We got it. We got 8 souls, whole world. We got 2 from we understand. That's how we trying to break this beat. I know we want all of us don't work.
But look, this
hey, look, all the people say too. Bro, I see you.
It says in our affliction.
And they laugh at you, bro. They argue with you. And you ain't gonna give them the truth.
That's just the kind of people we are. You know what I mean?
I'm definitely saying that.
So look,
This stiff-neckedness is in our DNA code for a reason. It's just in our DNA code for the wrong reason. We stiff-necked to the God. We supposed to be stiff-necked to we supposed to be stiff-necked to our God, to these other nations. So the stiff-necked is there. It's embedded in our DNA. We just using it the wrong way. That's all. That's all it is.
The way we say no to you, like how you be on the book, how Levi be on the book, how all of us be. You know, Zell throw his scripts up. All that bucking, kicking, you know what I'm saying, should be toward the other day. They don't kick against Christmas at all.
Like I said,
they don't kick against New Year. They kick against the football game. They kick against nothing.
But that last verse in that 5th chapter over there, when
the
pressure's on,
everything but
when the boot is on our neck, the toughest, when things are our worst, that's when we decide to come with.
Well, he told us we're going to sit back to you learn to call for me.
So expect things to get worse.
Yeah, because we only search them through struggle. We only search them.
You're being purified.
A lot of people are really slow waking up at a rate where and I don't know how bad that's sound, but where it pleases us, where we can actually see our people waking up. It's going to be real bad about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's going to be real bad.
All
right, let's get it. What you say? Revelation 8.
1 through 6.
All right, Revelation 8.
We're going to bring it on home. Remember, we kept hearing about the last trump, right? The trump of God, the last trump. That's when we get gathered, right? So let's bring it on home. This is the end of the thing. Revelation means to reveal. The revelation of the Messiah. So this is the end of it. So when, 8, 1 through 6. So when we read about the day of the Lord, right? Zephaniah, we was reading about the trumpet, right? When we went to Leviticus 23, we was reading about the memorial blowing of trumpets, right? And we got into Joel chapter 2, was talking about a trumpet. Matthew 24, day of the Lord, trumpet, right? 1 Thessalonians 4, what was that, 13 through 17, about the resurrection, trumpet. All of it got to do with resurrection. All of it got to do with the day of the Lord. You feel me? All of it got to do with him putting down this enemy, gathering us, and us getting our glorified bodies, our birthright. Right. You feel me? That's what it's all about. So it kept saying the trump of God. So let's go read about the trump of God, right? That's going to get into the last trump. No, say at the last trump we shall be changed. In a moment, the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, right? For this what? Corruptible must put on incorruption.
That's the last blow.
And this mortal must put on immortality. Let's go read about the trumps. And then let's go read about the last trump and see if it lines up with what we've been reading about. And then that way, when you out in the world hollering at your people, you can tell them like, look, the memorial blowing of trumpets is coming in. Are y'all observing it? They're gonna be like, what is that? Now it's time. You got your notes. Open the script up and show them. It's about the coming of the Lord and us getting back to our birthright. You understand? It's what it is, right? You were made to live forever. You weren't made to die. You was made to live forever. When he made Adam and Eve, he made them to live forever. They only died when they broke the commandment and went against them.
And notice when they did that, he put them on coats of skin before he put them onto the earth. Yeah. They didn't have coats of skin at first. Yeah. They had glorified bodies
of light.
In light.
The lights you getting, the bodies you getting back. The bodies you getting back. The very body you getting, there is a spiritual body, a glorious body, a powerful body. Those are the bodies Adam and Eve had before they transgressed.
That's why when they got out, they kept changing. It's like
they
kept changing, they kept trying. So they think their body changing and everything.
Yeah, they went through it.
It's called falling from a higher conscious. Every day they was falling from different levels of consciousness. Then they became a vegetable being. Now they in this skin, you stink. You boo-boo now. You remember it was talking about the sun that was beaming down. Adam didn't even know what the heat was. He like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Mosquitoes. Yeah. You hear what Hosea said? They was walking past trees full of apples, didn't even know what it was. He said, we seek the food of angels.
Yeah, go back and read that. But you see the mindset and how they speaking, and then when they fail, once you start seeing, okay, if that's what they going through, what's the flip side of it? They must have been that deal, the image of God.
Eat from the tree.
Look, God's reflection. Trip off this. If you the image of God, He's supposed to be able to look at you and see Himself. Most people be able to look at His creation and be like, dang, I'm looking good.
That's all me. That's all me right there.
And He looking at us now, we all bad. As a reflection of God, we ain't looking good at all. You see what I'm saying? He ain't even looking no more. All right, come on, Hebrew, let's get it.
That's deep, man. Revelations 8, verse 1.
Yeah.
And when He had opened the 7 seals,
yeah,
there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour.
Yeah.
And I saw the 7 angels which stood before God.
Yeah.
And to them were given 7 trumpets.
Given 7 flutes.
7 trumpets.
7 clarinets.
7 trumpets.
7 trumpets, right? yeah.
7 violins.
Yeah.
7 trumpets.
Yeah. 7 trumpets, right? Go ahead.
And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was giving to him much incense, that he should offer it with prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar, which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there was voices and thunderings and lightning and earthquakes.
So it's the Lord that caused all this. You feel me? You can say whatever you want, but it's the Lord that got angels in charge over all of it. Yep. All what you call natural disasters, the Lord got angels in charge of all of it. Huh? So it's the Most High that send the earthquakes and the lightnings and the thunders and the storms and the plagues. All right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 6.
Read down to 8.
And the 7 angels,
through 9,
which had the 7 trumpets, prepared themselves to sound.
Now remember, what are the trumps of God? At the last trump.
The gap.
You feel me? So now the trumpets got to blow.
Is it safe to say, like, people just going back to what they say, even manipulating what's out there still only because of
look, man, he was just talking about this on the way here. To the Most High, regardless.
Man, look, the devil's not a loose cannon. He got to take orders. I got you. Yeah.
Look, so look, say they got Hork out here and they is causing all these tsunamis and storms, right? At the end of the day, to even be able to control elements, you still have to have permission from who? The Most High. Whether it is
the hand of God, regardless.
Because who give you that knowledge to even pervert it, to even do
it? That wasn't the Most High who came down here and put you in chains and put you on the boat.
Right.
But it was his
He ordained. He ordained. Good example.
Yeah. That's how the Most High get it done. Just how he get it done. So I mean, I ain't into giving heathens no credit. I don't care what heathen behind what computer board. You feel me? It wouldn't be getting done unless the Most High ordained it on high.
I'm gonna tell you my personal experience. President, that I studied with around here, I ain't never heard Hosea, Zebediah, Bebop, Yaki, Mally, or myself back right there. I've been around these brothers. A lot of us been intertwined with these folks. Been put under pressure by these folks. But I ain't never heard them these brothers complain about these folks or because real men of the Lord who really study what we don't hear because we never.
Yeah, I don't give no heathen. I don't give the devil no type of credit. Like
the
niggas don't even.
Of Judah is written with a pen of iron and a point of a diamond.
The devil don't get no credit from me.
What I'm saying is, my person. Yeah, okay.
Saying all
no matter
everything
what we all been through in our lives, these brothers, and I've been around for a long time, these two even longer. You see what I'm saying? Never was there ever a story of, man, I can't stand the white man, no, white man. He oppressed me. He got his foot. The people, we didn't even trip when the boys jumped out on us. Then we know. We told him that we know your job is to catch. Your job is not to get caught. Ain't nobody tripping off y'all, cat.
Yeah.
Am I tripping, man? Straight up.
Man, look. I don't even.
Yeah, I ain't blaming none of them.
I don't even give them no credit. Like whatever. I already know. And then look, I don't witness from we moving in the wrong vibration.
Yeah.
And it's like they pop up like Mr. Smith off the Matrix. You feel me? Mr. Anderson. Like, dang, this nigga just peered out of the way. I was on some madness, you know what I'm saying? You dig? And I don't witness me being in the right vibration to work out. They don't even mess with you. I'm talking about leave you alone and everything. So I already know I don't give them no credit. I just don't give them no credit. I know all I gotta do is do what I'm supposed to do, and the Most High put a hedge around it. Yeah. That's all it is. Yeah, but look, let's finish this off. Let's finish this off. Where you at? Revelation what?
I'm at Revelation 8, verse 7.
Revelation 8 and
verse 7.
7. All right, come on.
And the first angel sounded, and there followed hell.
Read 6 again. 6 again.
Verse 6 again.
Yeah.
And the seventh angel, which had the 7 trumpets, prepared themselves to sound.
Yeah.
The first angel sounded. There followed hell, and fire mingled with blood.
Hold on, that fire, hell and fire mingled with blood. The first trumpet of God's sound that he gave to an angel. It sounds, right? And the first catastrophe that hit is what? What is it?
It says, hell and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up.
And the third part of the trees was burnt up? Has that happened yet? Have a third part of the trees been burnt up?
But that ain't even the third part of the earth. It's talking about the earth.
Yeah. We ain't talking about the fires in Cali.
Yeah, which is burning up. But that's talking about the earth.
That's one state out of 50 in the United States. We talking about the entire earth.
The entire earth. And all the green grass was burnt up.
And all the green, ain't that grass outside across the street?
It's still looking green.
So we can't, so look, we can't force prophecy. You did. So this is let you know, even though what we are looking at right now is a catastrophe, it ain't nothing compared to what's coming. You feel me?
I was shot. Let me get some of that water. And the second angel sounded.
Hold on. You good? Yeah, okay. All right, go ahead, bro.
And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire, was cast into the sea.
Yeah.
And the third part of the sea became blood.
Now, has the third part of the sea became blood yet? See, there is no word in the Bible called ocean. Seas are oceans. You understand? You got rivers in the Bible and you got seas. What you know is an ocean today is a sea. So that said, what about the sea? What is that?
It says, and the second angel sounded.
Yeah.
As it were a great mountain burning with fire, was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood.
So have a third part of the oceans on planet Earth, have they become blood? So the second trump ain't sounded yet either. All right, go ahead.
And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died.
A third part of the creatures ain't died. Even though that oil spill went down the Gulf of Mexico years ago, that's not a third part of the sea, and that's not a third part of the animals in the sea. You can't force it, even though folks want to be on that level. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Hurry up and come. But we can't force it. And that is let you know what we got coming is going to be way worse than what you're dealing with now. If this is just a prequel or a shadow of what's coming, you better get ready. All right, what else to say?
The third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded. And there fell a great star from heaven.
Yeah.
Burning as it were a lamp.
Yeah.
And it fell upon the third part of the river. And upon the fountains of the water.
Yeah.
And the name of the star is called Wormwood.
Has that happened yet?
No. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right now. They've been monitoring for 7 years now.
So they know this Bible is real. So they know the Bible is real. You said where the ships out? Well, so it's still maritime law going on. Still ships.
They trying to engage.
Supporting the emperor. Oh, you talking about what's going on?
With them. Well, look, you got Revelation 17 about the nations gonna be trying to fight the armies of the world. Gonna be trying to fight the Lamb. Yeah, but you got look, either the ships is in the waters conducting the business they supposed to be doing, or you got warships. Either way
they're gonna get destroyed.
Yeah. Read down to verse 11, and we're gonna jump out.
All right, it says, and all green grass was burnt up, and the second angel sounded, and it was as a great mountain burning with fire, and it was cast into the sea. The third part of the sea became blood.
Yeah.
And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea that had life died. The third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the river, and upon the fountains of the water. And the name of the star is called Wormwood.
Yeah.
And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the water because they were made bitter. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten.
Where you at? Verse what?
Verse 12.
Jump down to Revelation 11. I just want to show that we ain't even in the first trump yet. You got some people saying we in the sixth trump and all that. You ain't, them events ain't recorded happening yet. Ain't none of that happened yet. So that show you, if you ain't ready now, you feel me, you ain't nowhere near ready for what's coming. All right? Now remember, at the last trump is when the Lord gather his and usher his kingdom in. Let's go to Revelation 11, read about the last angel. And
that's
the last
why
trump.
It's good to keep his appointed feast.
That's right.
To practice.
That's
to
right.
rehearse.
That's right.
For what's to come.
Yep. Because you see what's coming. You see them when them trumps get to blowing, it's gonna be the worst time ever. Then why you think he saved those that endure to the end get saved? You gotta endure all that. Yeah, you heard that. Yeah. All hell done broke loose and you still remain faithful. The Most High, and you moving off the spirit, he got you. Y'all move over here. Y'all go over here. Feel me? Go, you know what I'm saying? Bump, you see a believer's face is like a breath of fresh air. Sister, what's good? Oh, you feel me? It's gonna be like the book of Eli around this deal. Watch the book of Eli. You feel me? It was nuclear fallout. A hand sanitizer wipe from KFC would have got you a date.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
You see what he had to do for the water? He had to get headphones and all kinds of stuff just to get some water.
Was a small thing of shampoo? What?
The perfume smells good.
You better wipe your teeth off and keep going. Yeah. All right, so let's read about the last trump. Remember, at the last trump is when we get gathered, right? Let's read Revelation 11, 15 through 18. Watch this.
Revelations 11, verse 15.
Yes, sir.
And the seventh angel sounded, and there was a great voice in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world will become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ. Yeah. And he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders which sat before God up on their seats fell upon their faces and worshiped him and worshiped God, saying, we give thee thanks, O Lord, God Almighty, which art and was and art to come. Now notice at the last trump, the seventh trump, the kingdoms of this world have become the kingdom of our Lord and his Christ. See, that's the last trump. That's when we get changed and we get gathered to him. You feel me? So 6 trumpets blow, all hell break loose. 7 trump blows when we get gathered, when the dead get resurrected to him. And what kind of bodies? No, he gonna tell you. Even those that's alive. You feel me? What kind of bodies? You feel me? Powerful. That's the 7th trump. When the kingdoms of this world gotta bow down to our Lord. You feel me? And these same people gonna be with the Lord in that day when he come to come. That's beautiful. Now, I mean, look, if that ain't the gospel, I don't know what is. That's the day. That's the gospel. That's the day of righteous get back. Yeah. Righteous get back. Yeah, finish it off. Because look, guess what else is gonna say? Go ahead. Because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and have reigned, and the nations were angry. Every word we see, y'all trip about that? Every word where it's the day of the Lord, the mighty men are wailing bitterly. The nations are angry. The nations are mourning. Why is that? I thought everybody loved God. See? Daytime is up and they mourning. Daytime up.
That last trump them blew, and it's a wrap. You see what I'm saying? That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
And just to let you know that it's gonna be a World War III and an Armageddon war. This means this heathen is not gonna just give it up easy. They gonna bang for what they got, for what they stolen. They gonna bang for it. It said, verse 18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth.
And should the who?
Destroy them which destroyed the earth.
The heathen got an answer for destroying God's creation. You done destroyed this earth with all type of madness.
Oil pulling, chemical in the water.
Making nuclear. Think about it. You ain't made no nuclear bomb for nothing righteous. You just get up and just yawn and say, I think I'm going to split an atom and, you know, I'm going to come up with waste that the earth can't even properly dispose of. You can't even get rid of nuclear waste.
I'm going to harness the power of the sun for no reason.
You did that for every intent was evil for you to do that. So we say the Lord must destroy those that have destroyed the earth and give reward to his servants, the prophets. That's beautiful.
There's one more verse.
Finish it up. Right?
Verse 19. And the temple of God was open in the heaven, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testimony.
See? Now look, that go back to what Nehemiah was saying, because there's even an ark of the covenant in heaven. There's a menorah in heaven. There's a temple in heaven.
For incense.
Altar of incense. You got all that. So what Moses got was a blueprint of what was going on in heaven.
A shadow.
A who?
A shadow.
A shadow. A figure. That's beautiful, man. And no, it didn't look nothing like no church on the corner.
No.
Nowhere.
No.
Didn't look nothing like that thing. There's a church over somewhere. They ain't look nothing like the design of the tabernacle, and which was later expanded to the temple. Didn't look nothing like you see on these corners right here. Nothing. Church steeples and all, nothing like it. Moses got a blueprint or a figure, a microcosm of what they look like in the heavens. And he told Moses in Exodus 25, make sure you make everything according to the pattern I showed you in the mountain.
A replica.
Yeah.
Exact replica.
Yeah. Tabernacle.
I'm talking about measurements, bread.
Yeah.
I'm talking about measurements, type of material. Come on now. All right. It says, and the temple of God was open in the heavens, and there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament, and there was light and voice and thunder and an earthquake and great hail, which all happened on Mount Sinai when he gave him the testimony to bring down to Israel, showing it was an exact replica. It wasn't what it was, but it was an exact replica of what was going down in the kingdom.
Right.
All praise.
So look, we get some understanding on them trumpets. It's beautiful.
That was beautiful.
You know what trumpets represent? Me not. Come on, man. You got it, man, girl.
Atonement, which means
the trumpet.
Point, time.
Yeah, the feast means appointment. It's an appointed time of God, right? And it got more to do with where we at, ushering in the coming of the Son of God. You feel me? The gathering of his people, resurrection of the dead, immortal, powerful, glorious, spiritual bodies, right? Prepping us to reign and rule on this earth. You understand? And that day gonna be a day of darkness. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be bad for those on the wrong side. All right, so we all good? All right, we're gonna pray out need. Go ahead and pick a song. We can go ahead and pray out. You dig? Jerusalem is that way. All praise to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Out of his only begotten beloved son. Shabbat Shalom to the YouTube family, the Worldwide Assembly. Pray for us. We finna drive to KC. You know what I'm saying? Give it our brothers Judah Black and them, make some history, do a little music. You know what I'm saying? Long live the King of Kings, Lord of Lords.
Long live the King. We
pray you was edified through the Spirit. Right on for all the support. You understand? Support the ministry. Shout out to the mother and 7 sons. We've been praying. We've been praying for you.
Nehemiah said thanks for the new clothes.
Yeah, Nehemiah said thank you for his new clothes.
Hey, look, her son, he made a speedy recovery.
Hallelujah.
He getting all his motor, he getting all his motor skills back and all of that. So all praises to God and his only begotten son for that. All praise.
Calling on him healing attributes. You know what I'm saying? We're praying for our brethren. Pray, don't forget, pray for the remnant and elect of Israel that's sitting in the midst of these storms and all that. May the Most High comfort and cover his people.
Thank
And, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and always, all praise to the Most High. Right on, you know what I'm saying, for our sisters who allow us to come through and break bread and bring the Shabbat on in. Hey, the little that we do is never overlooked. You understand? Hey, look, we could be doing anything else on the Shabbat, but what? We here trying to get some understanding about the Most High feast day, the memorial blowing trumpets, September 21st at sundown, September the 22nd at sundown. It's more about us getting prepared to be found worthy to enter into the kingdom that's coming. All right, and even if we all don't get together, you can eat lawfully within the confines of your own home. Go back over some of them scripts with your loved ones. This is what we're supposed to be doing in this season. Feel me? Especially when we're seeing all this death and what they call natural disasters. We're supposed to be being more and more obedient to our God so we can put a hedge around us. All right. With that being said, Shabbat Shalom, all praise to the Most High. Hey, what's the closing psalm? He grew Yahoo! Yahoo! Wow.